Hey, man, is that Double D? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren, right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
The voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea... A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
I disagree, Gary.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3. Great sandwich.
Thank you. I enjoyed having you here. You're a very good co-host.
How is everybody doing?
Great.
Great sandwich.
Otisburg. Hey, Patty's Parlor has to go because he has to go get a pizza. That's what DoorDash is for.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to put guys like Crazymouse out of business.
Scott Garibay.
Scott Garibay out of business, yeah. That is Rogan's daughter, if you recall last week, did a Grimjack. What is it called again?
Demon Star.
Demon Star, yeah. I like it. Cool. All right, I'm going to put that over there so I don't...
She's a great kid.
You might want to grab that so you don't smash anything on it. But yeah, that is super cool.
Yeah, I forgot about Connie at the beginning of your video, the introduction. I left a comment on... She had a YouTube short about breaking the fourth wall for initiatives. And then I just commented and said, hey, hi, Connie.
For real?
Yeah, she was teaching how to like spice up your game or something like that. And she said, here's one that you've never thought of. Break the fourth wall for initiative. So as her players were like rolling, she had the monster like talk right to him. It was like, no, you go first.
I saw that one. I know exactly the one you're talking about.
Well,
yeah.
I'm in the comments. I don't know why she would have showed up. I've never like searched her or watched a video of hers before. So I don't know why that algorithm would have like gotten into my feed.
You can turn your gain up just a smidge there.
Me?
Yeah. Wait a little bit past 2. Can you get it?
Is it one on the side?
Oh, yeah. The one with the numbers. Yeah, maybe it's upside down. Or just get a little closer. It's okay. How was everybody's Christmas? I know, Crazymouse, you had an untimely
issue with the oven.
on what Christmas? Only on Christmas Eve.
Man,
right?
that sucks.
Christmas Eve it was. I came home and Mrs. Mouse was not I don't want to make it sound like she was teary-eyed because she was not. She's just like, we got a big problem. And I thought, all right, well, what's up? And she said the oven shit the bed. So we had to come up with a couple plans. One of them was either go to my mom's house, cook everything there. But we didn't want to freak my mom out with the last minute, like change of plans. The other plan was to order takeout. And I said, I don't want to do that. We just spent all this money on groceries. Number 3 was using the neighbors. They were out of town. Our youngest, Sophia Mouse, watches their cat. So we had a key to their house. Sent him a quick text message. And boom, I was cooking in their house. Played an away game.
You're in business.
Yeah.
But
other than that, it all worked out. Everything was fine.
Everything okay with your Christmas and New Year?
Good. We rotated the flu.
Yep.
Which was not exciting, but overall, we had a good time. A very good time. Like my daughter knows me better than anyone in the house. She knows me well.
Yeah, we as I was doing the live stream last week, I started getting sick right during it. It's not often you can pinpoint like exactly where, Yeah,
I noticed
if you watch, like I was like, and as I'm reviewing Shadow Dark, and I was just worried I was going to get you sick, and it sounds like I may have. Well,
you didn't I was fine. That was Thursday. Was at work. I was fine until the end of the day. I'm like, well, I'm not feeling good, and got home and I'm like, honey, I'm gonna lay down, and boom, that was it.
A couple days later, woke up.
Yeah. Hey, honey, I'm hungry. We already ate. Okay.
Yeah, Rogan has this thing when he doesn't get much sympathy from his wife when he gets sick.
I kicks him in the nuts and says, "Suck it up."
I just suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah, she tried sending me on a road trip when I had COVID to get out of the house. True story. Get out.
Didn't she lock you in the basement pretty much?
She had me quarantined in the basement, and she was very wifely for the first handful of days. I have this theory. It's 4 day. It's either 4 minutes or 4 days. First 4 days of that COVID, I was sick for solidly. I was horribly sick for well over a week. But first 4 days, she checked up on me. She made sure there was food outside the bedroom door down in the basement. Day 5, I get up. I'm sick, but I got a little bit of an appetite. I'm looking at the clock. All right, like 3 hours roll by. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, I hear nothing. No one's walking around upstairs. So I give a text. Hey, did anybody eat? I get a text back a little bit later. It's like, yeah, we all had Chipotle. I'm like,
I have a little love for Daddy here.
Yeah, I'm downstairs pretty sick here. Got anything for me? Oh, yeah. I was.
We forgot you were there.
I looked at the calendar. This is day 5, so I'm past that day 4 window.
I always picture, as I always tell Rogan, like he's like Papillon. He's in that one prison where he has to stick his head outside the door. I'm surprised she didn't make you do that. John Osborne, my new book on world building came out yesterday, and it's a #1 new release on Kindle. Holy shit! What's the name of it, John? Give us a title so we can throw it up there.
Yeah.
So folks can support the family. Yeah, like I said, I have been sick the last week. And today, as you guys know, my dad's in the hospital, so it was not a lot of room for prepping tonight. World building for novices. There you go, guys. Check it out. Give it a look.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How can we get it?
He said it was Kindle, so I'm sure it's available on Amazon.
Oh, all right.
Yep.
Mrs. Mouse's dad is such a generous gift giver. He usually throws us some cash money, which is always
appreciated.
Absolutely. But this year he said he didn't want us to use cash on our bills or whatever. He wanted us to treat ourselves. So everyone got Amazon gift cards, and I don't know if I've ever purchased anything on Amazon. I'm not positive if I have. I've always just like gotten something from Old Navy Direct, but I might get a deep fryer because homemade fried chicken sounds really good, and homemade chicken wings and fresh cut French fries.
Yeah, baby.
I don't know. That's what I said I might end up doing.
Sounds like a plan. Mercurius gifted 1 membership. Thank you very much, Mercurius. Spreading the love, spreading the joy of the family.
Mercurius, can you type in a ho ho ho?
Thank you, Mercurius. That's awesome.
Yes,
very, very generous.
Oh,
Thank you.
Ryan, David, I agree. Everything is better deep fried.
Yes. Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing? Quick show note. Next week, we are almost sure that we will be live with the Black Lodge boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
1 second, I'll get to that as soon as. Oh, it's the best YouTuber.
Boom.
It's Hungar, Double D, the best show on YouTube after Hungar's. Yeah. I was hanging out on over at James's one of his streams, and Hungar's there. He's like, "Hey, Double D, who's the best YouTuber?" And I forgot he always puts that. He makes me say that he is, and I'm like, "Oh, Razor Fist," and he's like, "Yeah, what about me?" Of course, yes. Thank you so much, Hungar. $5 super chat. Sure, a lot of you guys are already subscribed. Check out Hungar, the brother of DM James. So yeah, we're going to get together in January with the Black Lodge boys, Ginger Frazier and young Steve Buscemi. I'm not sure which one I was talking to. They're kind of a package deal on Twitter, and whoever I was talking to just said, "Yeah, I just have to confirm with my partner." And it should be a go, so we will keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully next week we will have a really good conversation with some pretty talented YouTubers. Bursting on the scene, calling out the critters, the Critical Role fans, in their latest video.
Is that their name?
Yeah, they call themselves critters.
Wow. Well, that's all right. That's okay.
If it fits, it fits.
Whatever.
He just kind of casually dropped in his last video. And because your average critical critter has an IQ of 75, it garnered a large belly laugh from me. I like seeing that kind of nose tweaking.
Isn't below 72 intelligently impaired or something along that line?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're talking like Billy Bob. Not Billy Bob himself. Billy
Right.
Bob playing it in that
Sling,
character.
yeah, like Sling Blade. Lightning French fried taters. All right, let's go over here, shall we?
Ooh, Oreos does sound good.
All right, so I want your guys' opinion. Neither of you are really on Twitter, right?
Not really.
No, I'm not.
I mean, I know Mouse
Dipping my
isn't.
finger in it.
Ooh. All right. So, I made this tweet this past week. It garnered a lot of attention, I thought. But that would be a good discussion here, because not everybody here is on Twitter. Biscuits and mustard. Sounds like a British.
That's how he says it. But he orders biscuits and mustard when he goes to that little boy's mom's house in Sling Blade. Will you make me some biscuits?
Oh, yeah, biscuit. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. It's probably been 15 years at least. I may have only seen it once, too, like the original.
John Ritter's in that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a supporting role.
That shows you how long it's been. I can't even. I think I saw it once, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good. It's an all right movie.
Was he up for an Oscar? Or did he win an Oscar for that?
I don't know. Chat.
I remember he was good in it.
Get on that, chat. All right. Here's my random thought on Twitter that day. So I say, were RPGs set up a tad more realistic in this regard, gargantuan and huge dragons should be almost invincible against parties that try to use regular tactics and their normal melee weapons against them. And I should say, by the way, I mean, I have not actually done this or incorporated this. I was just kind of spitballing, because I guess I was just trying to think maybe more realistically. And I am proposing this. You should have to train a significant amount of game time to take on a dragon. Maybe you find someone who did it and survived to get a few pointers from, or you track down some old book that has some knowledge, and maybe the DM can give some modifiers, some attack and damage modifiers out if you go through it. Said you should have to use and maybe even learn to use special weapons like a mounted ballista, a spear, a pole axe, a heavy ballista, etc. And then maybe give those weapons a little bit of a bonus against the dragon. And then I'm just saying, now that we're talking gargantuan dragons here, and I'll show you a scale picture here, using something like a dagger, short bow, short sword, or even a long sword against them is almost ludicrous. And when you see the picture, you'll understand. It's akin to someone in full plate armor being stabbed by one of those plastic cocktail drink swords. The fight should be completely unique. If it's falling into a familiar pattern, maybe something is wrong, because there should be nothing familiar about it. There is your scale. That is a gargantuan dragon.
You know what? My two-handed sword at D10 +1, I could do some damage to that.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, as far as like any swords, the two-handed sword, long, the gigantic two-handed sword is probably the only one that would do any kind of a damage. But just picture like a dagger in his hand. Like that's not even going to get through the scales. Even like a short sword, that's barely going to penetrate. So you almost, hold on one second. We'll go ahead and grab that. Chris Miller. How dare you body shame dragons with titles like gargantuan? Mea culpa, Chris. Mea culpa. $5, thank you. If you're hunting something like that, do you guys not agree you should be doing something a little different?
I agree. I think
you're hunting it like actively, you better have a better plan.
Every movie I've ever seen regarding trying to deal with a dragon. We'll go back to Dragon Slayer, for example. There's the young wizard. In fact, my one character is named after him. He had to enchant that spear with the help of his magical sorcerer wizard tutor coming back to life, the whole 9 yards. It was a task to get him in a position where he could do something. Look at any other movie regarding that. It's a task and it takes something special. Well, the Hobbit movies, right?
Game of Thrones.
Smaug. To find that, find that giant crossbow bolt, and just hit it at the exact right spot.
He had to have those. I don't know what the weapon is called, but it was like a spear with like a catapult.
That's a ballista
in Game of Thrones. Yeah.
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 You're looking at like just like the volume wise, that's like 1,000 men, that are moving as one, in that dragon. So it's almost like, I don't know. Like I said, you really do have to treat it differently. I'm talking for these really big ones. Now there are ones where, all right, you kind of do just kind of have to squint your eyes and, let everybody, maybe use the weapons they're familiar with. But I don't see it. Would you guys have any problem if, in game you're like, all right, we need new tactics. I know you're Rogan, you're a master of the longsword or whatever. Guess what? You're going to be a master of the pole axe for this one time instead. We're going to train like a military unit for a year.
Right.
And Crazymouse, you're going to man the ballista, and you're just going to try to pepper this thing with bolts from this ballista.
Is this some foreshadowing? You got one of these?
No.
Yeah, right.
No.
Let's jump back in time a little bit when we did run across a dragon. Actually, that's when the world was ending, and we ended up running across a dragon up in its lair. And during a conversation, we kind of encouraged it to help us fight a creature equally as large, because the creature equally as large we could not handle.
Yes.
There was a lot going on, and it was prudent for the dragon to save, certainly he's going to save the world. He's going to save the dragon's world as well to aid us. And in the end, we lost a handful of characters and the dragon. It was a success.
Yeah.
But again, the dragon was as formidable as the picture right there showing on our side.
For you guys, it probably ended up working about as good as possible.
Oh, yeah,
the dragon's gone, the beast is gone.
We lost several characters in the battle, and that was a full aid of a very formidable, very ancient dragon.
Yeah, Dark Knight of Hibernia. Why? I think he meant to say here, why can't a human kill a dragon with a longsword? It's a game. Now, can the dragon circle in the air and use magic? Yes, that's the real challenge. Well, I understand. I do understand that aspect. And I'm not saying like, hey, you guys should use this. I'm just saying this is one aspect that I never see really get used. This kind of treating dragon hunting as like almost like a military, campaign almost. And I think it could work. Yeah, would some players be pissed that, hey, why can't I just use my regular weapon? And I mean, you asked Dark Knight of Hibernia, why can't I use a longsword? Well, just picture a longsword in his hand right there. It's just you're not going to penetrate, deep at all. Now, if you try to maybe go into his mouth and do something, I don't know, maybe. I'm just saying, realistically, I don't know. We're only talking about the biggest of the big here.
It wasn't. I want to say back in 3rd edition, I want to say Mongoose put out those quintessentials. Was that Mongoose?
Mm-hmm. Oh God!
And I want to say, if I remember properly, in like the quintessential fighters, one of the subcategory deals that you can do with a fighter was make him a dragon hunter. I could be completely wrong if it was Mongoose, but I really believe back in 3E in one of those splat books, there was a subclass of fighter that could go in that direction and gave you leveled up in certain ways, but I'm sure that's that's running a heavy dragon heavy campaign, but
well, D&D was meant to be dragon heavy because one of the magic weapons was Dragon Slayer.
Yeah. 50 BMG armor piercing. Yes, early. What's the ballista? I think a lot of people got it. I'm not trying to like rain on anybody's parade, but in the same respect, I just look at a picture like that and you can try to deny reality all you want, but when it comes to a beast that big, sorry. If you try to backstab that with a little dagger or something, it's just, you're barely going to get through that first scale. You might penetrate the skin a little bit, but I don't know. Probably definitely need magic too, right?
Oh yeah. That would be a task for very, very high level characters that knew their shit, that were trained to do it, and had some special edges that would help them.
Yep. 5e dragons are nerfed. Yeah, maybe.
I feel like if you were playing and the DM was not even had it out for you, just like was playing the dragon like straight up, like as he would be, your party wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, look at that picture. If that thing's in the air, I mean, just blowing his breath weapon down on you, I mean, you're fucked.
Quick, we'll hide behind that boulder. Well, that dragon's fire breath is going to blast that boulder to nothing and cook you on the other side of it.
But now listen here. You get a couple of ballista bolts, and on the end of them you tie the the elven rope of infinite strength. Let's say you have to go to the deepest elven wood, and there's a special knot. Maybe they call it like the dragon knot or something like that.
Right.
That is, you tie this to the end of your your missile weapon, and then you tie the other part, maybe to like some form of a tree or something, because it's elves or shit. you can get, maybe you fire and boom, now all of a sudden that dragon is tethered, due to, I don't know, elven magic or shit. Something like that. That I could get down with, because you're probably going on a little bit of a quest to get the rope, to find out how to tie this knot. And then, somebody has to nut up and fire and hit the damn thing, with a ballista. So it's like, all right, now all of a sudden you've got this thing pretty much grounded, and now you can just kind of start to pepper them. But realistically, like you were saying, Crazymouse, you'd need about 1,000 soldiers.
And after the dragon's first attack, half of them are gone.
Oh yeah.
I guess I'm just picturing that scene of Game of Thrones where they were like in a caravan of like stuff, and a dragon came out of nowhere and just like breath weaponed like all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, that's cool. Magnificent devil dragons should also be intelligent, and the huge and gargantuan dragons should have lived a long time. Intelligence, crafty, experienced, patient, an apex predator that is smarter than you. I agree. You know what though? I'm even okay with if you want to treat your dragons as just forces of nature, just dumb brutes that just go out and kill things. Either way is fine with me. But yeah, if you put a little bit of intelligence into them, well, now you're just not winning. Because this thing can just fly away. I mean, live to fight another day. Excuse me.
We got some money from California coming in or something like that.
Holy
What's
smokes.
that CA stand for?
That's Canada.
California currency.
California?
Jeffran Denkar. My old DM had an ancient dragon ambush our 3.5 epic party and used magic items from his horde against us. Wow. Thoughts on dragon using its magic items? Well, I'm always very practical. So if it's something that can be used practically, like if this thing is this big, how big is this magic item, and does it need to be manipulated in some way? Does he just throw it in his mouth and that's good enough? I'm probably more apt to just have the dragon keep those sorts of things as trophies from past, failed would-be assassins.
Do they have the ability to use magic?
Yes. Yeah.
They wouldn't really need their magic items.
Well, I mean, you could. I suppose some things could enhance their magic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they are certainly an inherently magical creature. And I throw a water balloon at the dragon.
I don't think the water balloon's gonna work.
Right in the mouth.
You go first. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, it puts out that flaming, the pilot light.
Oh boy. I don't know. As far as I've thrown a lot of monsters at you guys over the years, have I not?
Yeah.
What is the one monster I've ever thrown at you, or you maybe dread me throwing at you that you're like, oh shit? Because I haven't thrown too many dragons.
No. I think we did kill a young dragon.
Yeah.
Generations ago.
Yes.
Gavin's slain a couple.
Yeah, Gavin slayed a big one. I think I piggybacked the Dragon Mountain box set kind of into Birthright. I had a pretty cool idea of how I could do that. So yeah, Gavin's old character, William Morgan, slayed Inferana, the red dragon from Dragon Mountain. And then he made a throne of its like mouth. I think he had it
and
on
his skull, yeah.
Yeah, it's skull, yeah.
I wasn't even part of that campaign. I just remember you guys talking about it.
Yeah, you had not joined us then. You may have been in the other room when you were just coming over to hang out.
I used to have to babysit the Greg and Michelle's daughter. Keep her entertained.
Yeah, while we're playing.
Hopped up on Skittles.
Chris Miller, we fought dragons all the time back in the 80s. Yeah. It's weird, you go back to those old, adventures for AD&D. I can't think of many before Dragonlance that actually had dragons, which is really odd because, the game obviously being named Dungeons and Dragons, there's like a real dearth of actual adventures with dragons in them. They use giants, they use liches. Not too many had dragons till Dragonlance came out. Dragonlance remedied that, and I think that's also part of why it was so popular.
I think going back, thinking about what you asked, the one thing that you throw at us, I think collectively looking over time, is certain undead.
Yeah,
a certain undead, losing levels, being struck and losing, that is scary. It is scary. It really is. Or any other effect that they can do, because undead blow.
Yeah,
they're a formidable foe.
Yeah,
and there's so much. If you take a step back in any fantasy world, there's dead everywhere. Underneath every 2 inches of dirt, something's dead. There's epic battles all over the place. There's undead. The potentiality for undead everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, a good lich or like a mummy lord or something like that is, for a DM, is always a good villain to have.
What about you?
The undead stuff. Only because of the spells. I think that was always like the higher levels. I know that Double D didn't like in 5e or whatever. We would just run through monsters. I've always respectfully disagreed with that statement. Like, maybe you think that we did. I commonly think that when you would get up in those higher levels, every Friday night, someone on our party's on death's door.
Yeah. I did have to tweak a lot.
Yeah,
but
you'd always been like, oh, you don't know what it's like behind the scenes. Like, we have to beef these guys up. You do. But, man, like, those higher levels, one misstep from our group and someone's rolling death saves.
I think 4E, and I don't apologize for this at all. I think 4E I enjoyed to a great extent, but that's when I lost one of my characters. He was the warlord.
Oh, Gil.
It was Gil's son. William.
Will, yeah.
Will
Bradward.
Will, and that, how he died, and that whole battle event and everything that was going on, that was all, there wasn't a 5e ability to save real quick. 5e,
Right.
if it was 5e, my character would still be alive.
That's true. Yeah.
That was a epic battle where there was a lot of death, and there was kind of a balancing scale there between my potential death and another villain's potential death. And it didn't go my way, So it kind of like taking a step back. I think 3E and 3.5 was similar to that. Although it was easier to heal, 5E bastardized the whole system and made listen, I'm about to cry. Oh, look, if you cry, it's 5 points of healing damage to yourself. Well, what if I cry a lot? You heal everything.
You're healed up.
You're good. Everyone in the party heals. Throw your tears at them.
Yeah, it did sort of, I don't want to say reduce the need, but it kind of did reduce the need for clerics when 5e, when they came out with that mechanic that, if you just take a long rest, every single hit point of damage you've taken is now healed up. It's like, oh, holy shit. Now all of a sudden, clerics are just battlefield medics, and then they can use their spells for other things instead of healing afterward, which is what you would normally do. Well, I want to grab this super chat here real quick. Chris Miller, author of Anchor, which you can get if you look at the description of this video and any other video. Check out Mad Scribe Games. A lot of good stuff there. Mad Scribe Magazine. Mad Scribe has a lot of things. Chris is a good dude. Back in the day, not everyone knew the weaknesses or powers of dragons. It was all new. My PC knew all the lore because I read the Monster Manual. That's right. The book you weren't supposed to have if you were a player. I always wondered that. Why do players need the monster manual? Gavin Morgan, of course, would always get. He would get all the books.
Of course he would.
Now he would say it's just. He's like, hey, I just want to get.
I'm a collector.
I'm a collector. Yeah, which he has every right to. But yeah, he also would know, or his character would know just the right spot to defeat certain monsters.
Of course he did.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
John Osborne, give a bad guy a magic great club that also does die 4, die 6 charisma damage on every hit. The ugly stick.
Ding, ding, ding. All right. I'm using that.
Is there one monster you guys face, like for me, or that you just kind of roll your eyes? You hate fighting him, but not because you hate him. You're just like, oh God, these things again.
No, I don't think so.
You can be honest. You can be honest. What about you in the chat? Are there if you're a player in the chat, are there monsters that you guys just hate seeing only because you don't like the monster and you just want to get through it? Ooh, Rakshasa is a good villain. Whoops. I think I had a Rakshasa in one.
Yes.
Of one Birthright story. He was like an assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the tiger looking?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always wanted to get into that. Was it 40 to 400 business?
40 to 400.
I've always wanted to experience it. You guys, that pops up. I'm like, I missed out on that. The goblins.
Yeah, there was like a few of them. Like goblins, kobolds.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. J Mike here says gelatinous cube. Yeah. Rust monsters. Oops. Anything with death or petrification. Yeah. Black pudding. Yeah. I think we're of a mind on that chat. I'm not big into the puddings and cubes and stuff like that. I'll throw them in. I think I did. I think there was one maybe in Barrow Maze.
Yes.
Wasn't there?
Yeah.
That's if you think back, that's probably one of the few that I've ever used. I don't know if I've used many like gelatinous cubes at all. I think they're kind of stupid.
Oh yeah, I don't recall.
I mean, once in a blue moon, they can be fine. Because it was in Barrow Maze, I just kind of ran it as is. A better question is there a monster you hate running as a DM? Huh.
Good question.
Boy, that's a good...
Patty's Parlor says the tables have turned.
that's right. I mean...
How'd you go get your pizza that quick?
Pineapple or no pineapple?
Yeah, it's right down right next door. Yeah.
DoorDash.
Oh, no, he saw his neighbor getting it. They left it on their doorstep, and he just went and grabbed it.
Nice.
Good for you.
Now, Eldrad, you may hate trolls, but as a DM, I love running trolls. I love a good troll battle, especially if they're not nerfed and they're given the proper respect. Are there any animals or monsters I hate? I remember, I think I ran maybe a couple of back in the day, like pre-done adventures, and there was like an aboleth.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. That's a hard monster to get your head around. It's supposed to be intelligent, but it's just kind of a big sea thing.
Right.
It just kind of sits there. I kind of never knew what to do with it, other than maybe I think it attacks magically.
It held us up for several days, and we were in this cave. And there happened to be a massive pool in this cave. We had to get around because we could barely get around it. And there is this creature that popped up and got us with a tentacle or whatever it was, and poisoned a couple of us right away. So it took several days for us to be able to have the ability to heal take care of the poison, or that and then sneak across it without getting it. Yeah, I remember that vividly.
And that was okay for like a one. Like I guess like a one shot, but I guess if you had to twist my arm, that would probably be it. Just because they're so specialized, and I kind of just don't know maybe what to do with them. Oh wait, Patty's going to answer you here.
You've been listening to the market.
Listening to the market is surprising. I haven't lost the stream. Well, tell everybody in line who you're listening to.
Yeah. Ask the manager if you could borrow the intercom real quick.
I was thinking you're talking about that. Like if we're running a campaign at SeaWorld, I can understand that creature a little bit better, but no, in regards to how you ran it, like I'm knowing nothing about the creature to this day, other than what its name was and what its possible abilities, it held us up. And we were like,
don't get me wrong, they're badass, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way my mind thinks. I'm not big into like the sea when it comes to like D&D. I mean, I'm fine with like trips across the sea, but like as far as like combat on the sea, a little bit goes a long way. I think I've had a couple, and that's probably good enough for me.
We've lost a couple ships.
Yeah, you lost a couple. But I'm just not big on like, oh, let's go fight on the bottom of the ocean. I'll take my my magic potion of underwater breathing, and we'll go down there and we'll slay some fish. I don't know. It just kind of seems really gay to me,
right?
A little bit. Yeah, the ocean is terrifying. I like the only terrifying thing to me in the ocean is just how alone you are once you lose sight of land, and just the fact that nobody nobody can help you, even if the winds die down and you're becalmed. I don't think you need to ram like a dragon turtle at every boat that crosses the sea. Now, look, I also like a good pirate fight. That's a little different to me. That's just boat versus boat, man versus man. But as far as like forces of nature, you can kind of overdo that. I know one. Speaking of, I think you kind of mentioned it, Crazymouse. But like in that Dragon Mountain, there's a ton of kobolds. Mm-hmm. And I remember Mrs. D just saying how much she hated kobolds after that. Because we would just, I would have to throw just hordes at these guys. And I mean, they cut through them pretty good, but still they just didn't, after a while, I think it was probably just maybe a little overboard. They were just like, all right, enough of the fucking kobolds. That's why if you guys, either of you remember fighting a bunch of kobolds?
No.
It's because of that. It's because I think I literally used a lifetime's worth of kobolds in Dragon Mountain.
You rolled the 400.
Yeah, I rolled the 400 and that was it.
How'd that extra dice get in there?
Because it's weird. Mrs. D to this day, kobolds, I hate those things. So many of them. Let's see what the chat's. Magnificent Devil. I don't care much for running monsters with mind control or charm powers. Yeah, I don't like to wrest control from the players over their characters. Yeah, and I'm sort of in the same boat, Magnificent Devil. But I will. I'll use them, but I don't like using them. Like we were talking about undead. Look, I do like undead. I like liches. I like vampires. I like a good vampire. And of course, a good vampire can charm people, charm characters. So you got to kind of use that ability there. But for a lot of other things, oh boy, $10 super chat from Asterion Moloch. That's a badass name. I like that, Asterion Moloch. Have you looked into Hyperborea by Jeff Talainen? Saw it, just got a 3rd edition, but haven't seen a lot on it. Also, thoughts on Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and if so, what edition do you think is best? Well, unfortunately, Asterion, I am probably 0 for 2 there. I know of Hyperborea, and I have toyed around getting it. Maybe I should. I think maybe I'm just going to break down and get it. But I was
a $10 coupon right here, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a $10 coupon. And as far as Warhammer Fantasy, no. Obviously, I've heard. a lot of good things about Warhammer Fantasy. But I think folks like DM James, played that back in the day. I'm sure a lot of the chat has. So chat.
Devil just kicked in with it. Yep.
Hyperborea is great. Yeah. I guess it's probably time. I got some money over Christmas, so maybe I will Hyperborea is just 2E. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, sometimes I just like having this stuff for my shelf. For my shelf. I think somebody here said the Black Lodge guys were here, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
He gave a shout out to him right there. Tora did.
Yep, Tora. So if you guys are here,
talking
hello.
about that a little bit, mentioning, about to sea and boats and stuff like that. To this day, whenever anyone in the group says, "Hey, we should buy a boat," I break out knives.
Your butt starts to pucker up.
Because nothing good has ever come out of it.
They're here. Double D.
Yeah. Greetings to our friends at Black Lodge Games. Like I said, I've told these guys, hopefully we can get together next week, have a pretty good powwow, meeting of the minds. Then I will officially pass on my title as new kid on the block. I feel like for the last year or so, everybody's treated me as like, wow, the new kid on the block, blah, blah, blah. So it's
KOTB.
Yeah. It's going to be Tag You're It. Even though they've been around for a while. They like I said, they had a channel for a while. And then it's weird because you look back at some of their old videos and they're like Ginger Fraser is distinctly like younger. And then, they just started doing videos again. And lo and behold, they are really good. They are very smart, too, knowing, kind of catching, fire in a bottle there by going after Candela Obscura and tweaking the critters. Yep, 8-year hiatus. Yeah, I was looking at some of your old videos. I'm like, holy shit. It's I'm sure I'll be saying that, maybe 8 years from now. Like, man, look at how young I looked. Now I'm just positively ancient. Anyway. So that's, like I said, hopefully we will get to hook up with them. We'll have a magnificent show. Yeah, Jack Elmy, thank you for looking after the welfare of the channel. If you guys could, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button. It won't cost you anything. I had a couple of videos we could do. That was, I actually just kind of wanted to BS about just kind of about like this dragon thing, but also just kind of a general chat the way it went. So it kind of went the way I wanted it to. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, there's another Warhammer Fantasy.
There's some people are now hitting the thumbs up. Double D, you're up to 49.
Bueno.
Right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Dino, yeah. Warhammer Fantasy is. I actually do have the books. Like I think the second edition. There was one edition that was really pretty well thought of, and I think it was second edition. They had like a humble bundle, and I think I just picked up a lot of the books on PDF. So it does seem like a good, like a pretty good game. I just never played it, and I would be lying if I said I did. I'm sure we knew it existed, but it just didn't make much of an impact back in the day. So if $5 super chat from our friend Jeffram Denkar, $5 Canadian, I recommend the Anime Goblin Slayer game if you want to have dangerous evil goblins. It's based on old school D&D. Have you seen it and thoughts on it? The Anime Goblin Slayer. Isn't there a Goblin Slayer game too? I thought. No, I have not seen the anime nor looked at the game. I just know it's sort of just kind of infamous, if I'm not much mistaken. So anyway, thank you for the super chat,
Much
Jeff.
thanks.
Yes, yeah, Goblin Slayer. I keep hearing whenever that comes up. I'm not even sure why. It's so everybody thinks it's like so nasty. Longest campaign I ever played in was a Warhammer Fantasy. It says Howard Hughes. Good to see you here. Yeah, good to see all you guys here. Thank you so much for showing up.
We're going to get
in
a lot
force.
of new viewers tonight because of when Patty makes that announcement at the grocery store. We're gonna be set.
As I'm sure he's doing
Big
right
sale
now.
on frozen pizzas. And don't forget about liking and subscribing.
Oh, man.
Chris Miller, $5. Well, Chinese food has arrived, and the wife calls. I'll have to rewatch later. No problem, Chris. Love your channel. Always fun. Have a good night, guys.
Chris, before you go, what's your go-to Chinese meal? What's your thing you order?
Cream of some young guy.
Oh,
hey,
Chris,
there's
that
an
is-
oldie
that
but a
is
goodie. Thank
so-
you very much, Chris.
So unfair, Chris. I was running errands earlier today, and I text my wife, "Hey, I want to pick up some Chinese for dinner. Let me know what everybody wants." And the clock is ticking. Half hour goes by. I'm like, "Well, I'll make do it anyhow." And then my wife texts me like, "I'm making meatloaf. I love meatloaf, but I have a personal policy. I don't eat after 5 o'clock." She says, "This isn't going to be ready till 6:30." Well, I tell you what, I'll get myself some Chinese, and I did not. But Chris, I'm grateful you had some Chinese. You had
we
Chinese?
have a go-to Chinese restaurant that we go to, and we have go-to Chinese dishes. We have like 6 of them, so we have to kind of get together as a consensus of which ones to get.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ling Ling.
Um,
That I just was going from DoorDash, and I kept going to the same like 3 Chinese places in town. So finally, I'm just like, all right, well, I got to try this one out. I'm getting sent to like all the time. The public has spoken, and me and Mrs. and the kids freaking love it.
Ooh, J Mike, where's the Finns hat? Double D. I hope they beat the Bills.
There's a catastrophe today with the Dolphins.
I missed it. Obviously, stuff going on.
Tyreek Hill's house caught on fire.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Family is fine and safe. He had to get the hell out of practice and go home and take care of that stuff. But,
jeez.
Yeah.
Well, it'll probably be on the HBO show, I'm sure.
It will be, but that one would be next week for their season. Actually, for their season finale, they usually end for that Hard Knocks. They usually end on the last week of the year. So
Chris is throwing us a $5 PS. By the way, interesting fact, originally Mongolian beef was made of horse meat. There were no cows in Mongolia. Look it up. Wow.
True that.
There you go. From the Mad Scribe himself.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you guys are interested, Mad Scribe magazine delivered to your door, just like the old Dragon magazine. Link in the description. If you use that, you can check it
Chris.
out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris. What a good dude. Yeah, let's
Very
see.
generous. Thank you.
Yeah. Long shot. Happy New Year. Link to the show. Happy New Year to you, buddy. Happy New Year to all you guys.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed this. Whenever New Year's Eve is on a Sunday, it kind of sucks. Doesn't it?
it feels different.
It does. Yeah. I can adapt any other day of the week to it. But man, New Year's Eve is on a Sunday. Just really lame. Are you going to go out and get drunk on a Sunday night? I don't know.
We had to change up our plan. We've usually had people over, family and, a couple friends or whatever. But with our oven shit in the bed, I didn't want anybody to have to wait. But, what's Mouse doing? Is he having people over, not having people over? So I just said, just screw it. We're not doing it. So we went to the in-laws' house, the hot doctor in our family, Hubba. Went over there and just hung out for a couple hours.
The Hubba sister-in-law.
Yeah. We were actually back home by midnight, too. So.
New Year's? That was New Year's Eve?
What's worse,
Yeah.
Adventurers Guild or Magic Shops? Magic Shops. Huh. I don't know.
I was...
All right.
My wife went to bed at 10:30.
Understandable.
Well, she's not feeling good.
My kids went to bed about that time. Olivia,
snuck
my
out.
daughter went out.
KG went out. Yep.
All right. Do you guys know that Will Wheaton was mad at Critical Role?
Why? Aren't they cut
I'm
from the same
glad
cloth?
you asked. Let's watch a short video on this, shall we?
Will Wheaton goes off on Critical Role over Felicia Day.
That just makes no sense.
Last weekend, Felicia Day posted a celebratory look back at her role in setting up Critical Role on her Instagram. In a now deleted comment, Will Wheaton actually criticized Critical Role, saying that he'd love it if just once, just one time, Critical Role would give you the gratitude and everything else you deserve. They would not exist without you, and they seem to have largely left that fact and all the work and money you invested out of their origin story. Or minimized it, at least. It's not cool.
God, what a shit stirrer this guy is.
I can't put words to him. You know how much I despise him. He doesn't know what abuse is. He has no idea what growing up abused is. And he made a full ass video about how he's abused, and he has the audacity to say something like this.
All I can think of is I literally walked by him, rubbed shoulders with him at Gen Con, 10 years ago, probably at this point. I should have just taken a swing.
I don't think he didn't want to be there.
Oh, he wanted to be there. He wanted to be the king nerd. I don't think he really wanted to talk.
10 years ago, would that have been? I saw The Big Bang Theory, but I don't know the timeline of it because I ended up binging it, not watching it live. Would that have been at the height of The Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, he was definitely riding high back then. Even so much so that, it was almost benign. It was like, oh, hey, there's that Will Wheaton guy. There's Wesley Crusher from Star Trek. Cool. I just kind of went about my business. It wasn't like, oh, there's the biggest asshole in Hollywood.
Now, the comment raised the hackles of many Critical Role fans, and to be blunt, it's actually quite inaccurate. Now, to be clear, Felicia
Will Wheaton being inaccurate? Oh my God.
Day did have a big role in getting Critical Role on air in the first place. It was her suggestion to air what was then a home game on Geek and Sundry, which was co-founded by Day, but purchased by Legendary Entertainment ahead of Critical Role.
She was kind of cute back in the day, I must say, Felicia. I don't think she's so cute anymore.
Because I guess they heard about the game, they knew that I run it, they didn't know who all was in the game, and they're like, we're really trying to get the D&D crowd. Like right now we have our show Spooks, and one of the guys in the crew one of the cast keeps talking about how he keeps trying to get.
Drink him in, ladies. It's Matt Mercer, pre-Critical Role.
I like his hair like that. It's a whole lot more civilized.
Yeah, look, very humble origins here.
One of our other castmates, Ashley, had to get into her D&D game, and I'm like, Ashley Johnson? Yeah, I know, she's in the game. They're like, oh, like, and Sam Eagle, I worked on Fetch Fest with you guys. Like, oh, so you're keeping it in the family. So,
that's great. Yeah.
So I want to make sure you guys would be interested in that kind of a thing.
Hell no. Hell no. We would have to change the name from the shits to something else.
I think that has to stay.
Is that Marisha Ray? That's Matt Mercer's wife
if
right
we
there.
ever complain about being crowded at the table, just pull up this video.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, these guys are sitting on each other, man.
They're at like a table for 4. It looked like there was 7 or 8 of them.
Oh, Double D is going to bust out the tape again and make a...
He needed it. I tell you what, he needed it. Gavin, me and Mrs. Double D basically had to share a chair because Gavin took up so much freaking room.
Tell me about it.
Unbelievable.
Bockwinkel didn't Will marry his nanny. I'm not sure. Was she? No. Oh, is that a joke? Maybe. I was gonna say Will doesn't have any kids of his own. But the
hate he has for his wife's. The
father of her children. Yeah. Just watch my video on it, won't you?
Isn't that still your most popular video?
Yeah.
By a lot.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of bites on the Matt Colville video. I was thinking of doing a just read the hate mail from the Matt Colville video on one of these. I'll have to do that one of these days. Man, his fans. If you think Critical Role fans are bad, and they are, I've never seen people simp for a guy like Matt Colville. Some big, dumpy, like Hollywood. I don't know. I mean, I guess he is talented, but still. He's just kind of a big goofball. But man, these guys really like him.
Do we have to start over at level 1 again or anything? Okay.
Like the thing is, we a couple things I got pitched was either we can
Yeah, I think they are. I think that is Pathfinder there.
Someone just asked that.
Yeah, I think that's the Pathfinder screen because I think I have that one.
do a different game, but I want to maintain what we have.
Yeah.
I want to just be a continuation. What we do is we have a website with, you know, bios on each of us as players and each of our characters' back history with like artwork and stuff. So people can tune in and know exactly where the characters have been and jump into wherever we're at.
In a lot of ways, Critical Role was the last big success for Geek and Sundry before Felicia Day left the company in 2016, and Critical Role split from Geek and Sundry happened years after Day left. But the fact remains that Day is frequently credited in the origins of Critical Role and continues to maintain what appears to be an amicable relationship with the company. Not only did Felicia Day provide a foreword for a book about Critical Role's history, which was published by Penguin Random House and featured lots of interviews and insight.
Could you imagine her reaction was probably like, Will, what the fuck are you doing? Because I hate it when people do that. It's like he's trying to stir up trouble between her and them. She's probably like, I have a cool relationship with these people. You know, and I mean, obviously, you know how big Critical Role is. She's probably, at the very least, she doesn't want problems with him. Yet here's this fucking nobody.
I have to believe that Felicia Day and those people, they kind of know what Will Wheaton is. So I think like when he spurgs out like
I think anybody that's worked with him knows what he's like.
Yeah, I like to think that they're not going to worry too much about him losing his shit, being an idiot, other than he'll get called out and.
Yep.
Info from the cast of Critical Role. Felicia also voiced 2 characters in the second episode of The Legend of Vox Machina. Additionally, Critical Role has given many interviews where they directly credit Day for her role in making the show happen. It's not exactly a secret that Day helped make Critical Role what it is today, and even she says that she was just one person alongside many others who helped to make Critical Role a success.
You know that not only did I play her, I discovered the whole group. 2014, I started streaming on Twitch by myself. I loved it so much. I went to my company, Geek and Sundry, and I was like, we have to start a Twitch channel. I was like, we have to have a D&D group, because I had played D&D for years and years with people from my comedy theater, and I was like, this is going to work. I was going to be in the group and build it, but I was flying back and forth to Vancouver all the time on TV shows. I couldn't be there every week. So I was like, well, my friend Ashley Johnson said she has a group of voice actors she plays with. They got to be good. Through their talent and a lot of people's hard work, the rest is history.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, Wheaton deleted his comments over the weekend. Now, interestingly, Wheaton has also appeared on Critical Role. In fact,
maybe he's mad they never asked him back. I think he was only on like this one time.
Looks like you rolled poorly.
Apparently that was like an in-joke. He always rolled. Oh, Will, he always rolls bad.
So he has an 18 strength and 18 con.
Yeah, is that his character?
Looks like it.
Oh, I was gonna guess he played a bard that whined all the time.
Jeez, was that his character? 116 hit points. Jesus. 20 AC.
That's only 4th level.
What the fuck?
Hey, maybe you didn't know the rules. Remember Double D, I had to come to you one night and I was like, hey, I keep rolling my hit dice and it says like 4d8. Is that accurate? My guy has like 96 hit points. And I saw
Time out.
And I saw Mrs. D's character and I'm like, she has like 45. Is this accurate, buddy?
Yeah. No, it's not accurate at all. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, at least you didn't have a level of soldier.
Well, that's how you police yourself, though. Something just
absolutely.
didn't seem right.
Yeah. It didn't pass the common sense.
My
test.
guy has twice as many hit points as everybody else in the party combined.
Yeah, charisma 8 is accurate.
Yeah, there you go.
What a little weasel too. He takes the standard like, oh, just use charisma as your dump stat. He's a fucking power gamer. Yep, Tora, look at that hit point total. Jeez.
He appeared in the same set of split cast episodes that Day appeared in previously. Day appeared in 2 episodes, and then Wheaton appeared in 2 episodes. But, he hasn't appeared since, despite his historically bad dice rolls being a meme among both the cast members and early fans. However, Wheaton has alluded to in occasional comments that there's some kind of bad blood or disagreement between him and the Critical Role cast before, although he's never really gone into great detail about exactly what happened there.
Producer Pete here with just a bit more insight. As we mentioned, Felicia Day remains on good terms with Critical Role, appearing as a voice actor.
Didn't he fight? I thought Will was on like another live play, and he got into it like with Scott Kurtz, I think. And Scott Kurtz is like a big blob of, nothing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, someone in the chat. He was on another live play, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that one anymore either. This guy just fights with everybody. That's why that video is number 1, because he kind of touches like that visceral sort of nerve with people. I think people sense what a jerk he is. Yeah, Acquisitions Incorporated. Thank you, Travis. Yeah, he beefs with Scott Kurtz. He beefs with the Critical Role cast. And by the way, these are people that like ideologically, like politically, I mean, they're all on his side, like 100%.
Well, yeah,
so it's nothing to do with that.
It seems like this pattern is like to participate in something, then like look back, and then damn it.
Yeah.
Or try to burn it, or burn that bridge, or talk smack about it. He does something, he looks back and he tries to burn it.
Dude burns his fucking bridges like big time. Like, why would you look? I mean, I don't give a shit about Critical Role. I mean, but if I was trying to play nice, and like, why would you pick a fight with these people? I mean, they're as Black Lodge points out, they have a bunch of radical retards as their fans, and there's so many of them. It's like you're almost courting trouble. You saw how scared Indestructo Boy was of their fans. I don't know why you'd go out of your way, especially when they probably didn't do anything to you. They probably just said like, "Look, we can't get you in." Yeah, Scott Kurtz is worse than all of them except Will. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when he was on an Ethan Van Sciver live stream of all things. That was back when Ethan was Doug TenNapel was still in the fold, and I think Doug TenNapel asked Scott Kurtz onto one of Ethan's live streams, and everybody was just like, "What the fuck is this guy doing here? Like, what? Like, he's against everything Comicsgate is." And I don't know. They just had a very uncomfortable conversation, and then he finally left.
Didn't Will Wheaton do the version of the Hollywood Squares with a bunch of other people from various Star Trek? I'm trying to remember. I remember seeing an interview with.
Yeah, he did a show back in the day. There was one where he kind of like hit on. He says it was a joke. He hit on that B'Elanna Torres or whatever.
Roxana.
Roxana. Yeah. But that was like. That was like the game show, or the like the knowledge one. I can't remember which one that was.
And I remember seeing a thing where she was talking about it, and she kept saying like, "Hey, like like, dude, why are you doing this? Like, my husband, like outright hitting on her. He's a douchebag. He's a piece of shit."
If you can track down that footage of him hitting on her during that game show, it's a little creepy. He gets so much. This dude gets so much slack, like, oh, it's just little Will, because he had like such a baby face. But
How old is he now?
He's only like a year or two younger than us. Yeah, so he's 50, I think. But when he was trying to hit on her on that Roxana, he was like in his 30s. But I mean, granted, he looked like he was in his early 20s. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, Death Angel Shadow, B'Elanna Torres was one hot half Klingon. I hear the actress is a little bit based too. I don't know if anybody can confirm that or not. That Roxana is a little bit based. So that would be kind of cool if that was the case. All right, so we'll watch the last couple seconds of this fucking...
In several Legend of Vox Machina roles. But it is worth noting that Wil Wheaton not only didn't show up in any role in Legend of Vox Machina despite being in several episodes of the actual play season, his last known appearance in any capacity with Critical Role was when Liam and Travis snuck him into the studio before episode 52 of Critical Role's first season so he could touch and curse Matt Mercer's dice before a pivotal boss battle. We're gonna go.
What a dick.
Wow.
Gee, I wonder why. This is probably it. Matt Mercer's probably like, what did this fucking guy do to my dice?
Wow. Double D, your boy Greg just showed up.
Greg, how you doing, man? I will be doing a live play with Greg on his channel starting next week for about 3 or 4 weeks. The new Dragon Slayer system. So I'll try to do a promo, throw out a link for that for anybody that wants to watch that. That'll actually be on Greg's channel though.
Why are my dice?
Yeah, why are my dice sticky? No doubt that's probably it. That was his last known thing with Matt Mercer. Probably flipped when he found out. He probably laughed along with everybody. He was like, "Oh yeah," and then behind the scenes is like, "Why did you bring that fucking retard here to touch my dice?"
You know,
he's done.
I've been doing dice games. I've done 40K for many years before getting into Dungeons and Dragons. I have thrown more dice than I probably own, and I have never you're a Widowmaker. Double D has an original D&D box set dice back in the day, D20, that has. I tell you what, it's a slayer. And when he pulls that out, it puts fear on the table. I would never for a moment think about cursing that dice. I'd hope you don't pull it out, but you know how it is. In a local gaming store a long time ago, a Star Wars miniatures game. I stopped and visited. You were playing there, and the gentleman across the table had some pretty awesome dice.
Yeah, he had a set of metal dice back in the day.
And the first thing he says to me when I acknowledge it is,
Don't touch my dice. Don't touch my dice.
You don't do that. You don't do that. You drop the dice, you pick it up for somebody, but you don't go like, hey, it's his show. This is Mercer's show. I'm gonna hex his dice. Yeah, you're not part of anything.
No,
and you don't do that.
No, I guarantee you, he saw this and was immediately turned off. I would be too. Even if it was one of you guys, I mean, obviously I wouldn't banish you, but I'd be like, well, why are they doing that? That would be my immediate reaction is, why are you doing that?
No, I'm going to disagree, Double D. I don't think you would do that because in reality, it wouldn't happen.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying theoretically.
Yeah.
But let's say someone like
had a
Pew
fear
Pew.
of someone cooking on my grill. There's these neighbors across the street, the Rups, and Carrie's Mrs. Mouse. Sorry there, Carrie. Is just enamored with Mrs. Rupp, and I always I don't know. I just always picture coming home one day after work and there's Mr. Rupp grilling a steak
on your grill.
What the hell's going on here? In all fairness, if that situation happened, I'd probably get a new grill.
Yeah. We'll just wheel it across the street. Here you go.
It's yours now.
It's yours now. Should be wearing your underwear.
Yeah.
As Woody Harrelson said in Kingpin, you don't mow another man's lawn.
Right. Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Yeah. No, never rub another man's rhubarb.
Don't touch my radio.
All right, I got one. I'll let you guys decide. We could watch some Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins. That's a 1. Or we could go through a Scott Garibay video number 2.
Scott Garibay.
All right, yours is in. 2 for Garibay, 1 for an update on the new. Yeah, there they are. there they are. Well, I mean, I had to give you the choice, right?
Mark C's just being problematic.
All right. Well, I kept it on the.
Well, there's some ones creeping in.
Oh my lord! Well, all right.
Double D put a filter on or something like that. I don't know.
All the way his most recent one. All right. Well, look, maybe we can do the Scott one, and then maybe a little bit of the Jeremy
Lamb
Crawford
wants
one.
to know, Tony Stark says, is it too much to ask for both?
Yeah, we could do a little bit of both. Yeah. All right.
Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and I want to talk about an adjacent millionaire to Dungeons & Dragons, Matthew Mercer, and why he suddenly got worse at what he does.
I love those things on his visor.
Yes.
How many people he's run over. How many fries
It gets
he's
me
eaten
every
out of
time.
there.
Gets me every time too. I just look up there and it's like, what are those? They're like the little Buckeye stickers for Ohio State football
I
players.
wonder if there's more or less than that last time we...
I think there's more.
Probably.
I think there's more. Pedestrian. Here they come. Yeah, John Osborne. Are they pedestrian kill markers? We think so.
Yes.
Yeah, wheelchairs.
Kevin, I do notice the one red one as well.
It's the one he got picked up for. The other ones are the ones he got away with.
The red one's a scooter. they're either walkers or wheelchairs.
I thought this is interesting, and he boldly pronounces like, "Yep, Matt Mercer's bad at his job." Okay, so this is the one that definitely caught my curiosity, especially with on the piggyback of the Will Wheaton video, So,
All right, so first of all, let's talk about that. Wait a second, Scott. Matthew Mercer got worse at what he does? Yes, absolutely he did.
yes, absolutely he did. He's just these conversations.
So
with
what's
himself.
what's my source on that? Well, it's the comic book. It's the character sheet on comicbook.com, and they have done a very specific video on that campaign 3 is not clicking. And this actually, have you guys seen Lubofin? So Lubofin, like in the middle, was like, "I'm not doing any reviews anymore. I'm a huge, I'm a hugest Critical Role fan, but I don't do recaps anymore. I'm kind of out on this."
I think what he's referring to is like they're kind of now well into their third campaign, Critical Role, and I don't think it is nearly as good as the fans want it to be. So it's like been like a big disappointment.
Stop picking pubes out of your teeth.
Overkill Joe, yeah, picking the teeth is killing me.
Hey, don't tell anybody I got a wooden dick, and I won't tell anybody you got splinters in your teeth.
Right?
Remember that from grade school?
Oh yeah.
And basically, there's a large conversation happening in the tabletop role-playing community, and CharacterSheet.com just did an entire video that said campaign 3 is not clicking. People are not liking it. Views are massively down. Right now, what's interesting is here you have Critical Role doing what they've always done, right? And it's always been successful, right? Now, what is their model? Their model is pretty astounding on how bad it is, right? They're like
their model's terrible. They're all millionaires, Scott. Jeez, come on. I mean, I'm with you here spiritually. I don't like Critical Role, but I mean, you got to attack them the right way.
Longshot's got his picking his ear next on his bingo card.
Jeez. Yeah, when I heard some of this, I'm like, oh my god,
is it gonna happen?
Their business model's terrible.
Like, let's do like 150 episodes, and every single one of them is 4 hours long, and make it so that no human being could possibly intake what we're doing, right? And honestly, it should not attract viewers. It never should have attracted viewers, even from campaign 1, right?
Agreed.
So we have 3 campaigns, right? We have Vox Machina, which was massively successful and is being reiterated right now, on Amazon.com.
Guy rides by, you suck, Garibay!
He's just sitting in an intersection with someone's food.
Yeah. Fuck you, Garibay!
Shut up and drive. Shut up and drive.
Every day with you.
And legit,
5 times a day.
You know, like, you want to understand the scope of Dungeons and Dragons? A voice actor, like tier B talent in Hollywood, now has meetings with Jeff Bezos, a billionaire, right? Because he's got a show on Amazon, right? That's pretty astounding. Like, that is the most success that's ever been connected.
See, he's mad because they dropped D&D. You know how Scott's
Right.
Scott's like a big, pretty big proponent of actual D&D, and they are no longer. They're working on their own game. And,
That's not the one I want to click on.
yeah, smash slides down. He doesn't even miss a beat.
He just turns
ignore.
his wipers on.
Yeah, he just
To Dungeons and Dragons, period, ever. Right, like, you know, so that's the bar, right?
Dagger
So
Heart.
Matthew Mercer's been there, and he's been. So you have Vox Machina. You have Mighty Nine. Mighty Nine was much beloved. Now you got Bell Cells, and people are not having it. They're like, these stories are too long. And here's the kicker, right? This is Hollywood, right? That's what Critical Role has become. These are successful Hollywood actors at this point, and lots of people are coming to them for projects. Now the problem so I'm going to explain to you right now why Matthew Mercer has started sucking at what he does, right? Which is pretty astounding, because Matthew Mercer was the golden boy. He was the one who could do no wrong, right? But now that's not the case. And I think the reason why is, one, actual plays.
Oh, I agree.
suck. And I just think it took people a long time to understand that. Actual plays are the worst way to explain the glory that is Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it's utter garbage. Actual plays are utter garbage.
Pretty much agreed. Especially when they're Critical Role. I mean, which destroyed the perception of D&D and for a whole generation.
Semi-scripted by voice actors.
Yeah. Put out a hit to go get on there. Those of you in the Philadelphia area.
Nobody should be watching other people play. What should be done is they should be...
Agreed, Tora.
I think they should be playing these off-screen, right? And then giving summaries of what happened, right? And then make those summaries Hollywood quality, right? Like,
But look, if you don't care about the game and you're just Critical Role and like, I just want to make money, I mean, they shouldn't be listening to him, because I think everybody liked the game when it was live, when they did it live.
Fire in the hole.
These guys have to listen to a DoorDasher tell them how bad their business model is. Look, I don't like Critical Role, but if I was there to make money, they sure have made a lot of it.
full animations with the voice cast voicing the stories they already did, right? Second, he is tired. Matthew Mercer is tired. Do you know why? Because he has 6 people on his back. Taliesin Jaffe, Marisha Ray.
Marisha Ray is his wife, by the way. I think he's on her back, but
Travis Willing, Laura Bailey, Sam Riegel, right? Liam O'Brien. They give him no help. No help. No help. He has been carrying them for 8 years.
How much help do they give him?
He does it all. He literally writes Dungeons & Dragons canon hardbacks. He's created the world. He does the best dungeon mastering that's ever happened. And I swear to you, I don't think a single player has literally ever sat down and read the PHP. Not one of them, right? Because they're Hollywood privileged. They goof around. They do not take it seriously. And I think after 8 years, Matthew Mercer is just tired of carrying them all, right? The other thing is Matthew Mercer, not only has he done everything we talked about, he has also set up projects like Vox Machina, right? And then finally, he's like, hey, listen, the whole world wants us to make tabletop role-playing games. I need one of you to step up. Taliesin Jaffe steps up and he says, don't worry, Matthew Mercer, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help you, buddy. I'm going to go ask somebody to copy Blades in the Dark poorly. And then the one task, that Matthew Mercer did not manage by himself turned out to be utter garbage. Candela Obscured was a garbage game.
It's two for two there, Black Lodge Games. He's right about the live plays. He's right about Canada. He's actually right about a lot of stuff. Like I said,
I know people think we're always making fun. We're making fun of him being a dasher, doing that. Yeah. We agree with so much of what he says.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Now, some of the stuff is just he has the right intention, but saying they're like failures and that, it's like, all right, come on.
Garbage. Bad copy. Right? So he's tired. Actual plays suck. Right? They always did. It just took this long for Americans to figure that out. And they are not adapting and they are not innovating.
There's
and
the ear
that needs
pick.
to happen.
Yep.
Did it happen?
It's happening right now.
They have to change. And the other thing is they should have went to 2-hour games years ago. So the other reason why Matthew Mercer is failing is because he didn't listen to me, right?
Long shot gets $5.
Yeah. Yep, he called it too. Bingo. Long shot just
reason
called
Matt
bingo.
Mercer's failing, he didn't listen to me.
Americans understand a 2-hour time block for a narrative because we've been watching movies for 100 years. Nobody understands
Making some points,
4-hour
I gotta say.
1980s suckfest. That's why Matthew Mercer right now is the adjacent millionaire to Dungeons & Dragons, who actually right now is failing, and he's got to fix it. All he needs to do is switch to a 2-hour game and replace every single Critical Role person.
Press pause, Double D. How much time's left in his video?
Not much.
Do you
Not
know
much.
why?
Well, why?
He's in the apartment complex and he's been circling.
All right, let's bring it home. Yep, there it is. Has he been circling
Critical
it?
Role would be fine with just him and all new players. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is, and I
Just waiting to see a guy on the railing up there, like as he's going by like 3 times. Come on, be my food. Yeah, so some surprisingly
hey, Charlotte.
good takes. Charlotte, how you doing, baby? Nice to see the nostril cam again. I have. I'll tell you what. I have a Bob the World Builder video as he recounts the OGL drama. That'll be 2, and 1 is Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins. 1 for Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins, 2 for Bob the World Builder. I'm not saying these are going to be good, but this is what happens when you're sick all week. And like I said, your dad goes in the hospital today.
This flu was no joke.
Oh, yeah, no.
Bunch of 2s. There's 2 1s, 3 1s,
Yep.
4 1s, 5.
Still looks like the 2s may still have it. Yeah. We'll go with Bob. Oh, jeez. All right, yeah, there we go. There we go.
According to the company that currently owns Dungeons & Dragons, at its heart, D&D is a game that focuses on storytelling. The dice just help you along. Everything is your decision, from what you look like, to how you act, to what happens next. For a game that so highly prizes imagination, creativity, and self-empowerment, 2023 was a strange year, filled with shocking announcements and news often contrary to this popular vision of D&D. But the most controversial D&D scandal that started it all happened in the first week of 2023, now simply known as the OGL, as in ever since the OGL, ... But what is it? The OGL, or Open Gaming License.
He rated a bunch of like corporate videos, like to get these fill-ins.
I wonder if he got blasted from YouTube for doing that.
No.
Is an irrevocable legal agreement between the rightful owners and publishers of D&D and the thousands of creative players who also produce and publish their own content compatible with the game. The OGL means if you follow these simple guidelines and include these guidelines somewhere in your work, you can publish and even sell your own material for D&D.
some brother there. He just, I don't know if he's having people put these together for him now. Like it's just, this is the cheesiest like B-roll I've ever seen.
Legal agreement, yes, but
Stock
really just
footage.
a promise, symbolic of the cooperative nature of the game and the shared storytelling in which we, together, are supposed to decide what happens next. Or so it was, until January 4th, 2023, when an article on Gizmodo.com exposed how the owners of D&D were one day away from publicly announcing Nevermind, tearing up that agreement and effectively pulling the rug of financial stability out from under thousands of small business owners, writers, editors, artists, designers, and other creators who, over the last 20 years using the OGL, had worked hard to build their own dream jobs on that promise to the D&D community.
So tomorrow would be that anniversary.
Yeah. It's the salad days for YouTubers.
Wow, it's been a year.
It's been a year.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, Truex. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, he can't let go of the money.
The collective
Charlotte, I'm
creativity
wondering
in your
that.
D&D game builds stories
I
that
peeked
you'll
ahead a
tell
little bit,
again
but-
and again, ranging from the stuff of legend to absurd incidents that'll make you laugh years later. The OGL controversy, the OGL debacle, or just the OGL was an absurd incident, but no one was laughing.
Personally, I have not seen the tabletop role-playing game space ever react like this en masse to any news.
You think that was his girlfriend? What's his girlfriend's name? Remember we said it was his hamster.
Oh, isn't it Grace?
Grace, yeah, that's right. That's Grace.
We're
It's
all
gotta be
very
Grace.
scared, and we're all doing our best, and we love the community for sticking up with us. It's been a lot.
It was a scary time for these many, many creators and for the wider community.
This is the cheesiest video I've ever seen. It is all B-roll stock footage. Grace, aka Mom.
Looks like it's been cut up by one of those organizations that do the welcome to our company videos.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like I see these at my work,
right?
Like these slick like corporate videos. B-roll Bob.
Watching the stewards of their
Good one,
favorite
Tora.
game suddenly become the topic of national news for this terrible behavior. But the community did stick together, a grassroots movement to cancel subscriptions to D&D's online library, and a petition to stand against the attempted OGL changes gained over 77,000 signatures from creators and their legions of supporters. Echoing another line from that intro to D&D webpage.
Oh my lord. Holy shit. This is all... there he is. There he is. All right. No, we got to go to the point where
But
it's...
some of us are still watching and waiting for them to keep their word. It's me. I'm waiting. Even though I spent 2023 running and playing about a dozen different role-playing games, I have mainly been playing a homebrewed version of D&D 5th edition using the books I owned prior to the OGL. Because I still like the game, despite...
Does he got a... does he have a hand mic now? Is he like an MC?
It's like Bob Barker.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Get your cat spayed and neutered. Help control the pet population.
Come on down.
Not wanting to support the company
It was a
financially. Because besides the OGL, the owner...
Wait, those of you guys that watch him, when did he start going to a handheld? Is he doing this all the time now?
He's switching it up.
of D&D have given us many reasons to denounce them in 2023.
Kind of like
this
it.
video won't cover them all, but the most recent one really stung when the CEO of D&D's parent company, Hasbro, announced the quote, necessary changes to fire 1,100 people from their jobs only 2 weeks before Christmas.
That was pretty shitty.
While taking home quadruple his $1.5 million salary as a bonus the previous year. So I'm merely trying to hold the company of D&D to their own standards by checking in on the promises.
And for my next guest...
Thank you, Death Angel Shadow. I was about to say, he got probably for a Christmas gift. It's the first time he noticed it.
Yeah, I think this is like a this is a video. Although no, you know what? Well, no, yeah, maybe it did drop after Christmas. Yeah, it could be. Maybe he got a nice Rode mic.
Grace got him a new mic.
I don't doubt it. Look, it's probably if it's a Rode, it's probably pretty good.
That they made to us as a community. But no matter the results of this short investigation,
maybe he just wants to be mobile, maybe a little bit more mobile. I understand that. Yeah.
Everything is your decision, from what you look like to how you act to what happens next. That is to say, you decide how you have fun with this hobby.
I will say this about Bob. Almost everybody else has blocked me on Twitter. He has not blocked me yet, so I don't know, maybe I just haven't gotten on his radar yet, but
and you choose which companies to financially support along the way. While Hasbro's goal is to sell as many D&D books as possible to as many people as possible, I guarantee there is an independent RPG publisher out there who has already created the book for you. Because as a person or a small group of people, they share far more of your unique interests than any large inhuman corporation ever could. As one quick example from the universe of incredibly well-produced yet niche RPG products, I give you Broncolonia 5e, a spaghetti fantasy setting.
Oh, it's did you see it was sponsored?
Oh, really?
Broncomania 5e.
Compatible with Dungeons & Dragons and based on Italian tradition, folklore, history, landscapes, literature,
well, these guys
and pop
just
culture.
They
it has 5 new playable races, including the Marionette, 12 new subclasses like the Monk Friar and the Paladin Knight Errant, 24 new monsters like the Anguana or the Malakota, superior demons of the Inferno, and optional setting rules for brawls, shoddy equipment, bounties, prophecies, and more. Broncolonia won 4 Ennies, including Best Writing and Best Setting, and their publisher, Acheron Games, also has adventure books for this setting and whole other creations like Inferno 5e.
But these guys, they get all this sponsor money.
I gotta say, in regards to the Ennies, the Ennies used to mean something.
Yeah.
But after, what is it, Thirsty
Sword Lesbians?
That's it. After that right there,
No. Nope. All right, is he done shilling for Broncomania?
Quotes from our interview to cite as a primary source for these promises. He's making those promises on behalf of D&D. He's not the bad guy here. There is.
Oh, he's sticking up for Kyle Brink. Come on, jeez, why does he do that? These guys are so disappointing.
Bad guys when they're
they still have not. People like him, they still have not publicly addressed that he's said what he did about white guys not being able to leave fast enough. I just want to shake him and just say, Bob, do you not understand that's what he said? And he probably he'd probably be like, yeah, well, so what,
No singular bad guy. Even the Hasbro CEO who wrote the letter about firing 1,100 people right before Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge. Yes, yes.
He's got to bug up his butt on that.
Promise number 1. Continually update the D&D rules under Creative Commons. The big one.
So the SRD will remain compatible with all our upcoming rules changes, and you'll see that as the rules.
I think he's just gonna go through all the promises they kept and probably didn't keep.
So he made quite a documentary about this, didn't he?
Yeah, I guess. Hey, it served him well. I love the mic with
what
the
standards we hold ourselves to, and we'll of course take public comment on it.
This promise kind of has 2 parts. As the executive stated briefly, they no longer have a way to police.
He's polished. Yeah, instead of sitting there with the mic stand like we're doing right here, holding the mic makes him look authoritative, intelligent.
Is that a piece of bread?
What is that?
Is it a coaster?
Oh, yeah, it might be a coaster.
Looks like the end piece of the bread that you just feed to the dog or throw in the garbage.
Yeah, the end cap.
It's a D20.
It is.
Yeah.
But
like an
made
edible
out of bread.
edible D20.
It's the heels all put together to look like a D20.
I think we determined, wasn't he in Florida? maybe because didn't he have to fly cross country?
But I didn't know if it was Florida or more on the not the coast, but up in the northeast areas.
He's definitely East Coast.
Yeah, Travis says he is East Coast.
What? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that is. That's gotta. It does look edible, doesn't it? Like maybe Grace baked them like a special cake.
It does look rather crusty on the edges.
It's like Bob's version of lembas bread.
Travis says maybe in Maryland.
Yes, Travis, you're right. I think you're right.
Yep.
It's a waffle. Giant toaster strudel.
For my next guest, Grace, come on in here. All right, I've had enough of Bob. I think he was just going to go through everything. Thank you for noticing with whatever that is there, though. Crazymouse. All right, watch a little bit of this.
Hello, everyone. Today we have a bit of a fireside chat with Chris Perkins
go.
and Jeremy Crawford, and we are talking about the 2024 core rule books.
James Gang. Bob looks like a bank manager. Yeah, he's got the narrow shoulders of a bank manager. Thank you, James. $2 super chat.
That he cleaned up, like his long hair.
Yeah, that was good.
I think he looks good.
He looks better.
Yeah.
He needs to do some shoulder reps, He has some pretty narrow shoulders there.
Think of these
maybe that
books
microphone's
as
like a dumbbell. Maybe Grace noticed the same thing. That's how he's getting his reps in.
She put some lead in the bottom of it.
Torres said he blocked Bob the Builder on YouTube and he regrets nothing.
The gropiest grope.
Culmination of the last decade. These rule books represent that decade of conversation among all of us D&D fans, and is our chance to make the foundational books of the game, the 3 core rule books, reflect the best state of the game in 2024.
We want the gateway products for the 5th edition line to be among the best looking, easiest to read, most mechanically robust that we can.
Nothing going to change, isn't that what they're saying? Nothing's really going to change.
So that it's a great first experience for somebody coming into the game.
And a part of that, creating that experience, we have also endeavored to make it so that these books will work with the products that fed into them. So you will be able to play a 5th edition adventure you already own, like Curse of Strahd,
Right.
or the Planescape that just came out, or
that they're not supporting, by the way.
I like when they make. He reminds me of Todd Newton. We're going to preview the previews.
Things coming out between now and the core books. All of those you will be able to use with the 2024 rule books. The key for us is that
Ironcaster Bingo. Good to see you here, by the way.
Will not only introduce all sorts of new options, whether it's weapon mastery or bastions or new subclass options or new class features and new equipment, new magic items, on and on and on, new monsters. All of that new.
At least they're honest, Surly.
Is going to coexist seamlessly with the material that is already in the game. And in any case,
these are the two that are sort of in charge. God, how frightening. Your character will be exactly the same, but gay and trans. Yeah. Put a chick in it. Make her lame and gay.
Wow, what magic item did you get? Oh, look, I got the sword. What sword is it? It's a feather sword.
It's made to tickle you. Yeah, more new crap to drive away DMs. Look, love Pundit or hate him. I remember he was talking about Jeremy Crawford. He just said that Jeremy Crawford has no talent. I remember him distinctly saying he was like the guy that would take notes, when they were working on 5e. Like he did almost like nothing, and now he's the face of the brand new edition. And Chris Perkins, might be a little talented, but he's like an editor. He's not like strictly a creative, not a full-time creative. God, how could you look at this if you were like a D&D wonk and like why would you be emboldened by the fact that these two are the ones leading the
where maybe
charge?
We have adjusted how something functions. The core rule books will walk right beside you and make it clear how that new functionality interacts with 5th edition books you already have. So you're not going to need like a conversion guide or anything like that. You're going to be able to just get these books and keep playing.
Then why get them? Then you don't need them. James Gang, $10. James, don't make me come down there. Thank you, buddy. Is Chris getting chunkier? I think he might be too. I kind of noticed that. He must be enjoying all that varied food available in the Radiant Citadel. Yes, all the festivals. Yeah, they can pack on the pounds. They sure can.
The buffet circuit.
The other looks like you would avoid him while he was hiding in the bushes at the local bar. Ouch! Ouch! Shots fired. Shots fired. Yikes. Jeremy Crawford being put in the same category as a peeper. Thank you, by the way, James. Most gracious of you.
Thank you so much.
At least half of the classes are being revolutionized in terms of how they play, thanks to the introduction of.
Well, this is what I hate. This constant it's a revolution, but nothing's changing.
It's them. Nothing's changing, because these books will go side by side with the other books because they're changing the culture word by word.
Yeah,
they are. They'll phase out the old books that they're saying that you need. For in lieu of the new books that are now have replaced any word that they think is unfashionable, any word that they think is offensive, any word that that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of prettying up the language, and then it's just gonna be a bunch of like +1 bonuses here and there. Like, oh, you used to do it this way. Oh, you're just gonna get a +1 bonus now. You just paid $150 for that? Why? If you're not going to change the edition, at least just have the balls to say it.
Put out an errata.
Put out an errata and just say, hey, we're just going to start pumping out and supporting settings, like they did in 2nd edition for that, short glorious time. Just work on that. But of course they can't do that because they don't have really the talent to do that anymore.
They got rid of their talent.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just Streamversary. JP gratis, yeah. They I don't know.
Weapon mastery.
It's very frustrating listening to all this.
We have the Bastion system that...
It's like, and everybody says, like, what do you care? You don't play, D&D anymore. And that is correct. But it's just, if you used to date a girl for 35 years, maybe marry her, are you still going to be a little bit interested maybe in, what they're up to? Probably.
That is a very good point. We're not doing it anymore, but we're still in our blood a little bit. It brought us here.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting to watch the slow motion train wreck.
Right.
But, still.
Gives a new kind of mini game that can occur between sessions. And there's a whole lot more that people are going to see.
Ooh, some one-to-one time there for you, fans of that.
The stuff that they love will be there, but tuned up, paired with brand new options. And then you're going to be able to, as so many of us love to as D&D players and DMs, tinker with it all and mix it up in ways that are satisfying for your individual campaign.
Well, what excites you the most?
Oh gosh, it's hard because
he stole his thunder there.
Combined, the 3 new books, which are the biggest versions of the Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master's Guide, and Monster Manual the game has ever had. The 3 combined will be close to 1,000 pages. if I had to choose, I'm most excited about how some of the brand new options, when paired with things that are already in the game, will not only feel new on their own because they're brand new, but are also going to make old things feel new.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you pair some of these new options with an old thing, the whole context changes. And there's something like that in just about every part of the game. Whether it's the changing encounter building rules or the way we're organizing treasure. That is different, and how that will be noted in the new monster manual, and so on and so forth. That there are all sorts of these.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Gosh, it's hard to say. It's all so good. Are we sure?
He can't nail it down, because nailing it down would be telling the truth. And there is no truth.
Wouldn't that be great if just a moment of clarity, like, I can't believe we're doing this. He kind of mumbles under his breath, can't believe it's like that guy who was the guy, that HBO show, like the real life one where he went to the bathroom and he admitted he killed that.
The mobster guy?
Was it, or was he like a Hollywood guy maybe, I thought. Yeah, he still had his microphone on when he's taking a piss. Like,
talking to himself.
Yeah, what are you going to do? You killed him.
Right.
I'd love for a moment like that. Last I checked, playtests for Wundini aren't backwards compatible. Yeah, I thought they were saying here. I thought they were saying that. It's all they keep blathering on about Truix is how compatible they are.
Little beautiful grace notes in every part of the game that bring new options, change your perspective on how that piece of the game works, gives you a new option, gives you new inspiration for making your own.
It sounds like massive confusion. It does. Listen, honestly, we like, as a player, we certainly like options. We do. But as a DM, options can get out of control. And I also believe this right here. Like, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to buy a car. So I'm looking at the cars, and I realized something about the auto industry. They give us too many fucking options. There's too many fucking cars to choose from. I don't need that many cars to choose from. I don't need that many options to roll. I want options for a character, absolutely. But this is ridiculous. Your perspective on this has changed, and the option on this changes this right here. And what the fuck? Really? What honestly are they doing? This is a lot of fluff he's saying, but it's given us absolutely nothing but adjectives.
Preach it. Yep, for sure. They jumped exactly. I think now, if you ask players, I think a lot of them would maybe kind of defer back to what Rogan's saying. Like a few options are good, but man, it shouldn't be like a smorgasbord.
I don't need to look through 3 books to tell you what my new feature is on something, because that's nuts.
This ain't the cantina scene in Star Wars.
Star Wars. Another thing too is like the fact that I think something like 9 of the 12 classes in D&D can cast spells. God, it's so ridiculous. Magic has become like so watered down.
Well, think about the end of Star Wars, when that little boy was in a room and he could get the broom to come to him. Like, he had the Force too,
Yeah.
That was a ode to Disney little moment.
Yeah.
Content and so on.
And also just pay off on, now that we've got 10 years of playing the game and analyzing and hearing from folks, we know what some of the pain points are in the books, and we can address them. Things like, well, there aren't very many common magic items in the magic items chapter of the DMG, so we'll put a few more in. That kind of thing.
That's for the DM to do.
Yeah.
That's for the DM to do. It is. You have to, listen, when we're playing a game and we run across a magic item that we can use, that's fucking golden. You don't throw magic shit at us all the time. We don't want magic. We want it, absolutely, but it's got to be earned. At least the games that we play. Honestly, if anyone's playing a game and thinking like they should get, I get this and I get that, and it's just, you might as well be playing it in a preschool playground someplace.
Preach it, brother. Preach
It's
it.
nuts. I'm getting impassioned here.
Keep that passion. The gym. $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I'm a geek, but these guys make even me feel like shoving them into lockers so they shut the hell up. Honestly, I'm completely done with D&D and its ilk. Yeah. As I said, the gym. We are too. Obviously, we've gone beyond it. We're supporting better companies, better people now with our time and money. But look. Hey, look, part of me is I'm a YouTuber, so it's sort of expected I talk about this kind of stuff. But, I'd be lying if I didn't, even if I wasn't doing YouTube, I'd probably still, keep up on some of this just to kind of, like I said, for a ghoulish fascination, just to kind of see. I still don't understand the business model here. Man, the thing is, they're going to luck out because that Matt Colville game, I think, could have really taken a lot of the steam out if they had timed it correctly. Because I think they're kind of going after what a lot of the 5e players like, that heroic fantasy. But Matt Colville's such a dumbass. He's maybe you'll get your game in 2020. Hell, they launched the fucking Kickstarter and didn't even bother to name the game yet. I mean, you couldn't even get your name straight before you launched the campaign. Jesus. I mean, call me cynical, but holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, you have to keep up with WotC to know what not to do. Yeah. Yep. Can't wait to talk more about our project. Yes, exactly. Patty and I are involved in a secret project together. Double secret project, yeah. So we are just patiently waiting for the artists to do their magic. And then we will be able to talk about what it is to Patty and some other folks who may or may not want to admit they worked on it. But it's a good cast, I can assure you that.
It'll rock.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a 4E rehash, but I still think it'll appeal to 5E. It's scratching the same itch because a lot of those people don't like to lose anything. So I think it's definitely competition for 5 or 5.5, whatever this garbage is going to be. But like I said, it doesn't matter because this is going to be out this coming year, and they have, it's going to do really good because there's really no competition. There's no competition from Critical Role, Matt Colville, the Matts. So, they're going to be able to write their own narrative. 4E was garbage. I disagree with that. I respectfully disagree. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already seen my video on 4E. Certain aspects of 4E I liked.
Dr. D Space. Ooh, do tell. All will be revealed in time, correct?
Yes. Yep. Just gotta bite my lip here. 4E killed Gary Gygax. I don't think so, Jerry. I think that might have been just a coincidence, Jerry. But if you want to go with that narrative, I'm not going to stop you.
Well, if 4E killed Gary Gygax, then the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones killed Martin.
Yeah, exactly.
And that didn't happen.
Skirmish war. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people said that. And there is definitely some truth to that in the 4E video I did. If they had maybe presented it as an alternate system, I think it might have been received a little bit better. But they wouldn't be sitting where they are right now because, look, whatever led them up to 5E, from their perspective, was worth it because 5E was just such an enormous success. So they're probably like, yeah, we'll take the lumps of 4E if it means we get to 5E. And yeah, I mean, look, there were a lot of options. It was kind of a video game, but there were some, like I said, there were some okay things in 4E for sure. But I can certainly see why traditional players, I can see why it turned turned a lot of them off. Yep, the gym. Mechanically best balanced edition. Fight me. Now we're going to get into a 4E debate. Yeah, they were, without Merles, they are toast. Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, but I don't even know how much he was involved in this upgrade. Something tells me he wasn't, because I think Mike Merles is smart enough to know, like, what are you guys doing here? Are we doing a new edition, or are we just, are we being just trying to please everybody? You can say what you want about 4E, but they weren't afraid to try something new. That's for sure. It's the exact opposite of what these guys are doing. All right, I'll do a few more minutes here, and then we'll do a little bit of auto Roland. We'll call it a night.
Sprinkle in a few little surprises, like, here's a new item that not only fills kind of like a hole or a niche, but actually kind of taps into something else in the D&D multiverse that we haven't touched on really yet, that opens up possibilities for products and stories in the future.
I guess that was it. I didn't realize it was that short.
Wow. And scene.
And all right, well, at least you guys know it's true when I say I don't watch these things all the way through. I want to have a normal reaction, just like you guys. So what do we think of that, guys? Are you still on the fence? You gonna support 5E?
It was in one of the Batman movies with the Christian Bale Batmans, where like you live the hero,
Yeah, you either die the hero,
villain, right?
Or you live long enough to be the villain.
It's so ironic, like, a lot of people are, so against Dungeons and Dragons now, but in a weird way, this is actually what brought every single one of us together.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Like all the chat. If you weren't into D&D, you wouldn't have been interested in this stuff. Like all of it. And over time, it just fell out of favor with everybody. So
yeah. Well, I mean, look, they do have their fans, but it's almost a different. As I've said before, they're almost a different species, game wise.
Right.
If you had told us what you thought a D&D gamer was 20 years ago, I think everybody knows what we would have been talking about.
Yeah.
But this is like just a whole different phenomenon. I mean,
you know how you edited your intro with some like new flair?
Yeah.
When those people are coming out of that convention hall, which is at Gen Con, I'm imagining, right?
It is, yeah.
It's almost as if you should have like a red dot for like someone that's a woman.
I've tried counting that, and
yeah,
every time I've counted 11 women. I know there's probably a couple more that came through.
Mm-hmm.
In that, that's I don't know, 30-second, 40-second little video. Again, I tried counting it. Probably let's say 15. Let's say 15 women or girls walk through.
200 or 300.
Out of several hundred men walking out with them in that period of time. So I mean, is that a decent look at Dungeons and Dragons or gaming? Well, I think it's a fair display. It really is. It's a fair snapshot into again, not just role playing, but gaming in general.
Well, they'd say like, oh, those are just the people that can afford to go to Gen Con and all that stuff.
Panther, peace.
Hey, Panther.
Uh-oh. Catch you guys on the.
Take care, man.
On the recording, on the flippity flip.
Yeah, like I said, we're done with the body of the show here pretty much now. I think we're just we'll catch up with Otto and Roland here. So yeah, I'll tell you what. Why don't we? We will let those of you go who are not interested in our terrible live play.
We hope everyone had a happy New Year.
Yeah, for sure.
Hope this New Year is better and brighter for absolutely everybody.
Yeah. I hope you guys all have a great New Year.
Man, I'm super self-conscious. Double D. Like, I must have had dirt on the bottom of my shoe. It's not dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally made a fucking mess. So I have a cleanup underneath my chair, like afterwards.
It's all right.
No, it's driving me balls.
Clean up on aisle Crazymouse.
Yeah, I'm like, there's mouse droppings over here nonstop.
Legit mouse droppings.
like, oh, there's something on the floor over here.
Man,
so I thought it was, you know what I thought it was? Like maybe you were painting. I know you painted the other room, but I was like, maybe he painted here and he spilled some. No, I kicked it. No, it's dirt. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. Oh, wait, it's from my shoe.
Well, you're a busy guy. You know, you gotta go through them mud
I don't
puddles.
walk through people's.
Well,
man, I'm super I wear white shoes, man. Like I'm very self-conscious that I don't get them dirty. So I don't know where this all came from.
Travis says you can't take them anywhere. Yep.
You can't.
Dress them up, but you can't take them out.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining in tonight. Yeah, like I said, I will be back to full hopefully next week, and hopefully next week we will have the Black Lodge boys. We can have a pretty good conversation with them, find out what makes them tick.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, see their history.
Dragon Slayer.
Yep. Year of Dragon Slayer. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, and then next week, I think next Tuesday, we kick off our Dragon Slayer live play. I am going to be a monk. That's right. If you want to see your boy play a Western monk, I'll even shave my head for it, Occidental-wise. Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. So I'll make sure to post a reminder in the community chat if any of you guys want to watch us play. It's going to be Greg's going to DM, of course. It'll be me and I think about
like
5 other guys.
Run of his new game.
Yeah. We'll be using the new Dragon Slayer rules, so it should be a lot of fun.
Greg, I just want to give you a warning. Double D rolls all his rolls in advance.
Make him on a chart.
That was freaking Tin Can Chris told that once.
Yeah, we had a guy who espoused that. I'm just gonna roll all this ahead of time and write it down. I don't think he wasn't cheating or anything. He wanted to roll everything ahead of time.
So when I come, I can just focus on the play. I don't want to roll any dice. I rolled all in advance. We still bring that up to this day.
Yeah,
good guy, atypical.
Tin Can Chris. God, we love him. Yeah, I'd love to roll dice with him at least one more time in our lives.
He'll roll that same one dice. He'll have 20 in front of him, but he'll roll. Yeah. He'll bottom out on that same 120.
That was his Rasta dice.
The Rasta dice.
All right, guys. Couldn't read it worth shit.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to switch over to our comic strip style live play. We don't go for very long if you're new. We just go through a couple scenes. And next Tuesday at, I believe, 7. Greg can confirm that. I think it's 7. It'll be on his channel. Just look up Greg Gillespie. But I will also, if you pay attention to, my community posts and all that, which you should hopefully get a reminder for, hit that bell for notifications. That way you'll know when I post something. I'll put a link to it or set you in the right direction. All right, guys. Like I said, a little bit of auto and roll-in live play with the Dragonbane rules for now. Pretty soon we will switch over to Dragon Slayer. So hope to see the rest of you that are noping out.
Dragonbane rule book, kind of like how Luke Skywalker threw that lightsaber.
Yeah. The minute I have the Dragon Slayer book in my hand, boom. Hairdressing contribution for Double D. Mercurius. Thank you so much. Australian $5.
Good day, mate.
Good day. So, yeah, I imagine we'll see Mercurius on the flip side here. For those of you that we're not seeing, you guys take care. Have a great week.
Have a great one, everybody.
Yep. And everybody else.
Happy New Year. Take care, everybody.
Just stick around here. All right. Well, will these mooks get ready?
Surly just subscribed to Greg's channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You guys that are hanging around, obviously, go ahead and subscribe to Greg's channel. That's where you'll see. He'll post some stuff about the game, I'm sure, and he actually did a pretty good look at the D&D movie, what he felt were its faults. So that was actually pretty good.
Ever since someone mentioned about the thumbs up and we were in the 30s, Double D, we topped out. We're at 66. So
it's probably more than that. Sometimes it takes.
Yeah, if anybody else wants to click on that like button, that thumbs up, hit it up. helps out the channel immensely.
Yep.
Maybe some of those are those shoppers from the grocery store that we were advertising.
That's right. Yeah, from Patty.
It must have heard that we were talking about grocery stores, Double D, because my thumbnail banner for the commercial was an Instacart.
Oh, yeah. Well, that could just be because it's your job.
Well, I mean, hey, it's listening. Oh, hey, oh.
Hey. All right. You guys just about ready?
I think so.
While you're getting ready there, I will, of course, give the little catch-up. This is our little live play. 2 characters, Otto and Roland, thrust together in the back of a paddy wagon, which they were sprung from. But Roland made the hefty decision to kill one of the guards.
Business decision.
Yeah, it's a business decision. And sure enough, it has dogged the boys as they have made their way from Carlsfell all the way over to Elpa, and then down a little bit south in a village where they were trying to put down roots for a little bit, but the law is constantly after these boys. What's the guard that Roland killed? That's his father. You know, he's the one that's kind of leading the charge. And I think last time, well, no, not last time, but a couple times, in that little village where they were kind of putting down roots, Roland as a blacksmith and Otto as a roofer, the law came looking for him. In fact, one of the men who was in the paddy wagon and may have witnessed Roland killing this guard, they came to the village and, you know, an escape had to be made. And an escape was made. You guys went right into the village below, one of the villages below Elpa, as I said, and then had to, when that guard came, you had to escape into the forest where that little black "you are here" thing is. So, now when you were in the forest, you guys saw one weird thing. Do you remember?
It was
The light.
Yeah, through the trees. And we followed that.
Like a lantern in a window.
Yeah. It was this kind of ghostly light, and when you finally, I think Otto tried to open the door.
I got blown back.
You got blown back. There was some sort of magics protecting it.
Ruin.
Yeah, and then you looked in the window and you saw an odd thing. You saw, you know, a man. You would assume the man who lives here. And he was engaged in some form of struggle with this shadowy demonic figure.
Yeah.
But it seemed as if time itself had stopped.
And I think that's kind of where we left off.
I do believe. I think it was daytime because I think you got up. Did you not?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's morning.
Yeah, someone, Dr. Deep Space says, so we're finally awake? Yes. Travis says, is that his wife? Kind of like that commercial for Bud Light when that woman's yelling at the referee, yelling at her husband, and then he goes to work at his game.
All right. Yeah, so you haven't actually gone into this little forest hut. Remember, this is slap dab in the middle of the forest. And there is bars on the window to prevent such a thing. So you'll have to let me know what it is you want to do. It seems the only doorway is the one that Otto tried.
Well, on my mind right now, I'm tied for first place in regards to my mind. Is I'm really curious as what would happen if we stick a stick through here. But that's paired up with my concern over Otto getting the shit shocked out of him.
Yeah.
Who is, manning up and not showing any, any pain.
We do have a stick that with a sharpened point that we use to
Right.
pick the lock on your handcuffs. But are you saying we should try to pick the door?
I wasn't sure if we should try to stick the stick in there to, to interfere with whatever happened, whatever stasis is happening. But again, I certainly don't want to do anything that would risk any more damage to you.
Yeah, you saw a man pinned to the table by this creature. He was grasping some sort of paper.
Yeah, like a scroll. It looked like from the window.
Yeah, something along those lines. But it's just kind of weird. It's really throwing you for a loop because they are literally like almost frozen in time.
I wonder if there's another way in.
I don't know if we've...
On first blush, on first look, as you're looking in, you see another window through there, but it's got similar bars. Right. And you see no other doors. So you have 2 windows and 1 door.
Right.
And have we gone around back? I didn't think that I don't walked around back yet.
Yeah. You can, like I said, you can kind of see it is sort of lit up, from when you can kind of like just kind of crane your head and look inside. It does appear there's only 1 door.
Okay. Overkill Joe, I have a question. Is that grab the sheet a reference to Lethal Weapon? Grab the cat? Because if so, your street cred with me just skyrocketed.
Yeah, Crazymouse is a gigantic Lethal Weapon fan.
I love Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, he loves Lethal Weapon. Well, who doesn't? But he loves it quite a bit.
So what do you think?
Travis just gave a great idea. You're a roofer. How's the roof looking? How does that roof look? Thank you.
Are you
I'll
going,
take some
are you going
steps
up?
back. And how high is this roof? Like
It's
normal,
not
10?
high. It's not high at all. Maybe 9 feet, 10 feet.
Are there trees nearby?
No. I mean, well, nearby, but
Nothing that I could... No branches that overgo the roof.
no. But you estimate you wouldn't have any trouble getting up there.
I will... Thank you, Travis. I love this interaction right there. I'm going to definitely... Mouse is too old for this shit.
I'm too old.
Now I'm definitely doing it. I'm climbing that. I'm going to try to get up there on that
I'll give you a
roof.
boost.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, with the boost, no need to roll.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Yeah. All right. So when you get up there,
I'll do some burrowing, Double D. Is there any way I could get through the wood or leave, whatever's up there?
I'll tell you what. If you why don't we just make a intelligence roll if you can.
So do you want me to roll under intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just roll die 20. You're looking for a 12 or under.
9.
Okay. That'll work. All right. You spot a weak point from your 1 week of doing roofs.
Mm-hmm.
You do spot a weak point, and when you go there, you think all you need is just something to maybe jimmy the wood that's supporting it,
Like a branch?
Yeah, a branch or maybe a dagger.
Oh, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll pull out my dagger. I'll kind of fiddle with it for a little bit.
Okay. You don't even need to roll. It lifts up. There was like maybe a rotted timber at just the right point. You can now lift it up, and when you lift it up, you can now see straight down in. And you could even fit down there.
I'm gonna fit down there, and I'm gonna go over to the. I'm gonna try to fit.
You're
down
gonna drop
there.
down?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me describe first what you see.
How close is this hole to the table where the man and the beast?
Pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close. So you won't drop straight down on them, but you'll be like right next to them.
Okay. As I land, I'm gonna move away from them.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Why don't we go ahead and do? We'll just do a acrobatics with a boon. So advantage.
12.
Yeah, but you have advantage on this. So
I rolled a 16 and a 14, so no.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. You mistime it.
Okay.
You drop straight on to like his arm where he's holding that scroll.
Okay.
Now I just have to see if you knock it out of his hand. Does he knock it out of his hand? See what that says?
Oh, that's a bingo.
That's a bingo. Okay. He drops it. What are you doing, by the way?
I'm looking intently through the window, and I'm looking intently, but I'm thinking to myself, do I climb up? Do I climb up?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right. You hit the hand hard enough that it releases the scroll, and then it's like everything comes to life all at once.
Oh.
You hear the man on the table as he like rolls off. This thing comes swirling right at him. I tell you what, why don't we do a quick little combat here? Tell you what, as you're looking around here.
Tasmanian devil, says Dr. Deep Space.
Okay. So here's the windows. The door. So ye are here. This is the... You are outside looking in. All right, so as I said, there's a table here in the middle, which probably is for like meals and that. There's another table back here, Otto. This looks like a laboratory.
Okay.
There's a lot of shelves here.
Filled with books or filled with like houseware stuff?
A lot of books like over here and here. And then like beakers and all kinds of shit over on this one.
Chemistry kits and shit like
yeah.
that.
All right. All right, so Otto, the guy whose cabin this is going to go with you,
okay.
Otto, okay? All right, so first we have Otto, 7. Roland, you're a 5. The creature is a 10. Okay, so this is the guy right here. Tell you what, let me see if I can. Whoa, Momentito. That's what happens when you try.
And then there was an earthquake.
Yeah, and then there was an earthquake. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get maybe a better view if I could here. All right, yeah. So this is the guy whose cabin it is. This is whatever that creature is. And there, of course, is our hero, Otto. There's Roland. So, Roland, you are actually first.
I am going to scamper up to the roof as fast as I can.
Okay. Well, you're not a thief.
I am not.
So I am going to make you... let's do an acrobatics.
All right.
Just straight up.
All right.
Just straight up.
Okay. I did not succeed.
All right. How bad did you miss?
By 10.
Okay.
I rolled a 15.
All right. We'll say you're halfway up.
All right.
Okay, because I know it's not your forte, but I also know that, I mean, you're a pretty strong guy. So you have your foot in the well of the window right now, we'll say.
All right.
And then next time, you'll be up on the roof. Okay? So it's just going to delay you.
Absolutely.
Okay. What do we got here?
Me.
Crazy. Otto.
I'm going to go and I'm going to back up. And so from the glance that I can see, are the windows openable?
No. there's literal metal bars in
All right,
there.
I'm going to go to the door.
All right.
Make my way over there.
He yells and says, "Wait, don't touch, you'll get hurt."
All right. From that, him saying that, plus my memory of just about 2 minutes ago, me getting zapped from it, I will respect that decision.
All right. He goes over to try to find where the paper was on the floor. Okay, he finds it after looking a second or two, so he's just able to get it in his hands. But it looks like he wants to say something. All right, this thing goes straight at him again.
Is it still in a mist form?
Yes. Yeah, it is still it still appears much like that. You can hear it's kind of like twisting around him now. And you can hear this shadowy demonic figure just saying the most horrible things to him. Like a curse on his family, what he's going to do with his soul. It's almost like he's trying to demoralize him. And this guy's saying "I'll have none of that." He yells to you, and he says, "Boy, fetch that blue beaker over there."
I will. Well, on my turn,
All right.
Roll an ish. I will make my way there.
All right. Roland or Otto, 6. Roland, 7. Creature, 2. All right. He turns to you. He comes out of the mist, and now this shadowy demonic figure looks at you, Otto. And, in a voice that you can understand, but kind of rings with an evil that you've, of course, never heard. He says, "Touch that and you die." With that, he seems to grow. He goes up to the ceiling and spreads out to where he almost encompasses the entire roof of this place. I'd like you to make a willpower roll, a WIL roll with a Bane.
Okay. So that's 2, and I take the higher.
Yeah, which is bad.
5 and a 1. I like what I got.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry, so you get a 5. 1 gets discarded. Momentarily, fear rushes past you. But then you're like, you know what? I'm not going to play your game.
Yeah.
So
to the blue beaker I go.
Yeah. Over you go. It's over on the desk here.
Mm-hmm.
You pick it up.
And then if I can, in the one action, I'll bring it to the old man.
Yeah, you had to go all the way across. We'll say you're getting there.
Okay.
But not quite at him yet. Go ahead, Roland. You're up and then down?
Yes.
All right, just make an acrobatics check. See how you land.
See ya, Mercurius.
I made it. 3.
Nice. Take care of Mercurius.
Yep.
Boom.
Have a good one, Mercurius. Happy New Year.
Yep, in you drop. You look up and you see just blackness in here. Let's do it again.
Double D, to paint the picture here. When Roland is coming down through, is it like when you're on a plane and you come through the cloud?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He's coming through like a black cloud.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Otto. 7. Roland 10. Creature 5. All right. He's definitely going to go after you, Otto. He reforms into his shadow form.
Okay.
And he extends, a very long, wispy arm towards you. And then you see its burning eyes. And you are immediately disheartened and fearful. No save this time.
Okay.
He's reached down into your soul. Make a will just to hold on to the beaker. You may very well drop this.
12.
Okay, your will is 14?
14, yeah.
You hold it, but you're frozen.
Okay. Like, is it outstretched for him to grab the old man to grab it, or because I was like, gonna give it to him?
No, you're
So
just
I'm
kind
kinda
of
holding
you're
it.
just kind of
Okay.
frozen now in pure fear as this shadowy claw is around you. You hear the guy, saying, "Boy." He's like, "Overcome it, fight it." As he's reading this scroll, language you've never heard. For this round, because you're under fear,
my turn is over.
Your turn is over, yeah. But Roland, what do you wish to do?
Well, I trying to assess the situation as fast as I possibly can. I see these dark tendrils around my friend. I see him seize up, and I hear the voice of the man.
Mm-hmm.
My only thought right now is I'm going to try to run and grab him and pick him up and carry him, toward the man. Try to get him out of this demon's grips.
All right. You run through, pick him up. You're barely even aware of what's happening. You're so afraid right now, Otto. We'll say that you can do that, and you get him close to the guy.
Okay.
And the guy says, "Thank you, lad," as he reaches out a hand, and he continues to read the scroll. So let's have hopefully one last round here. Otto, you're a 3. You're a 6, and it's a 7. So make a will to try to shake it, Otto.
That's a negative. I rolled a 20.
Ooh. All right. Well, fortunately for you, you would have dropped it, but just as you were about to drop it, the guy was right there, thanks to Roland dragging you close to him.
Excellent.
So the guy has it now. He speaks louder and takes a quaff of the blue liquid.
You shall not pass.
And it's mostly language you can't understand, but he does say the word gate. And this thing says, "No!" and goes back into a pot that was on the table here and completely dissipates itself into it. He goes over and slams a lid on it. And lets out a whew. Okay, we are now out of combat.
Whoa. By the bells of heaven, what was that?
Am I coming out of my...
Yeah, you're right. You're out of it now. You're still a little shaken up. Certainly both of you have never seen anything like this.
That's, Roland put it best. Like, what was that?
He says, well, some things were only meant to be seen by those with knowledge in the arcane arts, and I think even I bit off a little bit more than I can chew there. He says, to who do I have to thank for saving my my very life?
Who are you?
Well, my name is Rune Acker, he says.
Rune Acker. The door, it blew me back.
Yes, protected. You don't know how many people would want to get their hands on some of the secrets in this place. I see now I have to work on, he points up, the roof. You know any good roofers, he says.
I can fix your roof. But your blue light in the window calls to people to come.
It wasn't meant to. As I said, this one, I went one spell too far. I bit off a little bit more than I could chew, and I summoned something here that I shouldn't have. At first, I wondered if the spell I reflexively said would keep me locked with it, for all eternity. I guess it was only for several hours, thanks to you. I owe you a great debt of gratitude.
We owe it to our friend. How can I get back up on that roof? Can I go out the door or window? I want to fix your roof.
He snaps his fingers. Did you guys give him your names? He asked. He asks, "Well, what may I call you?" He says.
Oh, Craven.
Craven. Pleasure to meet you, Craven. And you, sir?
Dale.
Dale. Well, Craven and Dale, I would invite you to stick around for dinner, but as you can see, the place is a little bit of a mess, and there is things like turned over. He says, as for the roof, I'll be happy to pay you for the...
It is my pleasure. I'm the one that broke it.
Oh, no. You don't understand what you did for me, but it does need worked on, and I do trust you. So he snaps his fingers. The front door opens.
Oh, okay.
He says, I have some tools over there on the wall, and you do see there's like a hammer.
I'll take a look over and see what I need, and I'll go
all right.
back up, and I will fix that roof.
You need a hand?
Yes.
I'll step out.
All right. He says, very good. I'll try to tidy up in here. You go up. It's obviously for you, Otto, aka Craven. It's a pretty easy fix. You got to get some thatch, I guess.
Sap from a tree.
Yeah. Maybe you can transport some that's already there in some of the thicker areas. Make it work. But you nail it down pretty good. So it's kind of secure now. So well done. We'll say that takes maybe an hour or two. And when you come down, he's got the place all cleaned up. And he does say, well, I did manage to put some tea on over there at the table, boys.
Absolutely.
At the center table. You do see that black pot with the cover on. He has now a rope on it. Mm-hmm. He says, I just got to figure out what to do with him as he pats it. That's the thing about these things. Once they come in, it's hard to get them back. Don't worry, though. I won't make that mistake again.
Should we bury it?
Well, that's one option. As he kind of chuckles and he hands you a glass of tea. He says, "But I'll see if I can look in some of my tombs and see if maybe there's a cleaner way. We wouldn't want anybody digging this up, whether it's a year from now or 200 years from now." He says, "Please sit down."
Was rather scary.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, well, just one of many close calls I've been in. That's why I stick to the woods.
So you must be a great wizard.
Me, a great wizard. Well, I'm pretty good, he says.
What's the age difference here?
He seems to be more, he's not old, but he's older than you guys. He's probably about 25 years older than you on physical looks.
Okay.
You know, he's got some salt and pepper in his beard and in his hair, but it's not completely gray yet. He does speak with a little bit of wisdom, for sure, but a very easy manner as well. He says,
welcoming.
He says, "How do you find the tea?" You know, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
He says, "What brings you this way? Not too many people take this path into the woods."
We are just headed to that stream, whatever that is. You know,
the mighty river.
Yep.
Headed anywhere in particular? He says.
To the other side.
No.
Just out traveling. We were sleeping in the woods and saw your light and called to us.
Well, it was not my intention, but I'm glad you answered. Do you, it is still daytime, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So he says, do you wish to stay here for a while, or are you headed on?
I mean, we are headed on.
He nods. He says, I understand you're young. You have the whole world.
Yeah.
At your grip.
Do you have any way of pointing us in the direction of some horses so we're not walking? And I understand that we didn't see any horses here.
Yeah, you do. Remember, you do have one horse. You do have the one horse.
One more horse.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We do have that one horse that we rode in on.
He says, one moment. He goes over to the to his desk and opens up, and if your ears are not much mistaken, can you make people forget us? That's pretty good. You hear some rattling, like coin rattling. He cinches up a bag, okay, and it's pretty hefty.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Well, I have no horse myself. I rarely leave this place. I do some hunting, but horses aren't too much use here. But you may be able to buy one." As he throws that on the table, please accept it as a gift from Rune Acker.
We can't take this.
You can, and you will. He's with it. That wasn't like he wasn't asking. He was telling. He says, "I insist."
He is like Uncle Jesse. Someone mentioned Uncle Jesse. And I picture the beginning of the Duke Boys when they make a wisecrack at dinner and he points at him.
Yeah.
You know the scene I'm talking about at the very beginning? That's
Yep.
exactly what it was when he gave us that loot.
He says,
You're
"Well,
too kind."
Well, you risked your lives for me. Although maybe you were just here to rob me. I'm not sure." He kind of smiles at that.
That is not true.
No. Looking through the window,
we knew we needed to help.
Yeah, and the creature frozen. It was apparent that one of the two wasn't natural. If we could do something about it, we certainly were going to try.
Perhaps neither of us are. Well, he says, if you guys will be on your way, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I wish you safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll, shake the purse. Thank you so much.
He just nods at that. Then
I offer my hand.
Yeah, he almost at first he's almost like oh yes, he shakes it, very vociferously, and then takes yours.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Master Craven and Dale. He kind of smiles at that, almost like he has a suspicion that they might not be your real names.
Well, he's wise, and I didn't offer him up at first, and he had asked twice.
Yeah.
So I could see that.
Well.
Can we get a letter of recommendation? Yeah, tell anybody that's looking for us that we went that away.
We are not the droids anyone's looking for.
Yeah.
All right. On your way?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. He opens the door with a snap of his finger and then closes it as you leave. He's not one for long goodbyes. He just kind of nods and seems to have his face already in a book. So with that, you're kind of like looking at each other, and then you're thinking like, there's 1,000 coins in this purse.
We can't advertise that we have that. We have to. Do we have another pouch to like split this up?
There's only a saddlebag. Remember, you stole this horse from some farmer. There's only a saddlebag that was hanging on it. So you can throw it in there, but other than that, yeah, you don't even have a saddle, really.
All right.
Probably as good a place as any to let off. And yes, very good.
Roland, the hero tonight.
Yeah.
And I remembered my name.
Yes, he gave him the right. The right AKA.
Whoa!
Holy shit! Hey, mamma mia! Howard Hughes, too generous, amigo. Please.
Holy cow!
Thanks for the stream, gents. Appreciate your time as always. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Howard. Wow. Thank you so much. That's too much money, though. Please. I get a little. When it gets to be in the 50s, I'm always like, all right, what do I got to do now? I got to do something in response. Tell you know what? Maybe I'll do, Howard, is maybe I'll try to look up that Hyperborea book. Maybe I'll grab that.
Also, don't forget, someone gifted a subscription. What do you do for that?
Yes, that was Mercurius, I think.
Are we going to do a giveaway?
Yeah, I'll do a giveaway here pretty soon. I think I have what I want. So maybe. Well, next stream's going to be Black Lodge.
No, I mean a giveaway of the subscription. He gave away a subscription.
Oh, that's handled by YouTube. So that's already been assigned to somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That was a Rogan dropping. Not a mouse dropping. A Rogan dropping. Alrighty.
I got some mouse droppings to clean up over here.
Oh, that's okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you so very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you all. Thanks again, Howard, for that amazing super chat.
Very generous.
Very generous in the new year. Thank you so much.
And also, make sure to tune in. Double D will put up on Tuesday the information for Greg's show, and then next Wednesday we're going to have some special guests.
Yeah. Hopefully the Black Lodge boys. Seems like everything is okay. I'll tell you what, I will. You know what I will do for you guys? I'll see if they know for sure, they will have gotten back to me. So, all right, haven't gotten back yet, but we're going to think good thoughts, and that we can get together with the Black Lodge boys next week. So, all right. That's all. Thank you guys so much for hanging around. Thanks for putting up with my raspy, kind of sick voice.
Hey, Nick, Laserbeam has an extra copy of that Hyperborea 2E.
Double D Rogan said he's on it, but I have a extra copy of Hyperborea 2E. Huh. Yeah, but that could be for like one of your players, Nick. I don't want to take that. Yeah, let me look into it for sure. I think maybe we can still support them. I guess I think they're probably worth supporting, I would imagine. So okay, thank you though. Yep. All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks you hardcores who hung out. You stayed at your post when the trainees ran, as Scotty said. Thanks for watching Otto and Roland, and you guys have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely.
Yep. Take care, guys. We will talk soon.
And again, Happy New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year. Peace.
Hey, man, is that Double D? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren. Right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, white dudes in a basement, which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
The voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
¿Me podés definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos los que,
entiendo?
digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea... A ver,
¿Por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda.
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
I disagree. Gary.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this matcha? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3.
Great sandwich.
Thank you. I enjoyed having you here. You're a very good co-host.